His world has unique magical supermatter. More magic means more power, and Sky belongs to Account's family. He's a wizard who failed to hit 1,000 points by 15. A guy mocked the hero, saying he had no right. The B-class mage clutches his head, refusing to compete because he's too tired. One guy shouts that Sky isn't tired, he's in peak condition. Water magic conjured a small water ball in a boy's hand. Brango charged, screaming for all to kneel, his friend close behind. Aristocrat B-Mage Sky suddenly declared his blonde magic water. He reported the main character won't die, just slightly injured. Seeing the angry kid, the hero blasted his magic at Brango. The enemy recoiled and fell. Friends surrounded him, but no one knew what happened. The main character smiled at his friend's smug grin. 2 years ago, angry shouts erupted from the cast. Two men faced Sky. One, clutching his head, claimed MCS brother should be a century old. The boy's magic was only 5, shocking the men who'd never seen a score so low. Moreover, the young master had no natural magic at all. Upon learning this, the father exclaimed. He couldn't understand why his son's life was falling apart. He hung his head, enduring his father's lecture. The man snapped that with this data, the boy joined Vincent's family. A year later, the family cut off Sky, wanting nothing to do with him. He constantly roamed the nearby forest, embracing total freedom. He stood by the tree, reaching his hand up, watching the bird flutter above. His only spell is a basic magic ball, the first trick every beginner learns. After attacking the bird, the boy dove low and hugged the dirt. He examined the fallen bird, hit by a magic bullet. Sky felt something shift. He couldn't use magic and he had no idea why. Suddenly he heard noise. He yelled, scanning, "Who's there?" A man stood before him, thrilled to find a wizard wielding the power of 0 and ready to reveal everything. The blonde smirked. He met Anna's friend, Sky, and told him it was a pleasure. Confused, the main character watched the bright mage's sincere smile. Forest around heroes burst into vibrant color, bathing them in light, beauty. Roasting the bird on a spit, he offered a piece to the blonde. Sky asked what his uncle meant about it earlier. The young man pointed, demanding what he meant by claiming he'd never used magic. The blonde sighed as the hero made him repeat Sky, then exclaimed he dreamed of becoming like his uncle. Gnawing on bird bones, the wizard declared the hero would fail. He irritably noted he wasn't the hero's uncle. The hero apologized, promising to call him Mr. Ends. A young man introduced himself as Sky Vincent and said he had a request for the wizard. Springing up, he begged the stunned ants to teach him their magic. Bewildered, the man agreed to teach the boy magic but warned against it. Surprised, Sky asked why. He was stunned. Were anti-magic spells really not the strongest? She explains the magical seal is a rare power, but he can master it with training. This move drains 980 mana, while a simple slice only costs 5. It lasts just 3 seconds with 0 force, making it incredibly weak. Another downside, Sky bristled, turning away, waiting for him to finish. The magician asked about magical speed, and the boy confirmed he knew. Magic power is defined by 5 key elements: speed, action, meaning, essence, and strength. What is the speed of magic? It is the speed at which magic moves towards its target. Speed varies based on the method and user mistakes. Sky realized stronger magic meant more power, and Say agreed. The man's face twisted into an evil grimace. Enraged, he didn't get why he was studying and kept questioning it. He shot back that in this occupied world, lies spread unchecked. Yan stared at the MC and declared magic. Speed is its transformation speed. Sky eyed the blonde, surprised. He wondered about these magical transformations. He'd never heard the word, but the wizard said it's easier to feel than explain. The man stood and declared he'd seal himself. Drawing the magic seal takes 8 seconds when Sai orders the boy to count from the start. As the light mage cast his seal, a clear symbol flashed in the air. Sky realized the sealing process began, meaning it's time to count. A young boy counted to 8. It all ended when the Sky counted to 10. The main character went solo. He clocked 10 seconds. The magician agreed, claiming 9 2-seconds straight. That 0.12-second delay is the speed of magic conversion. Sky questioned if 0.12 seconds mattered, but Anne disagreed. 0.12 seconds reveals magic's rapid transformation. Magical conversion hits 87, global average only 50. With his new powers, Sky overhears Anne's reveal the MC exceeded the transformation coefficient. The magician with perfect spells is a legendary being named Lagunasi. The Sky can become a Lagununyash, leaving the boy stunned. He runs faster than everyone, Because of this, the guy will be able to cast more magical orbs than others. He promised the captive boy he'd become the fastest, strongest wizard. Awestruck by the magician, the main character joyfully echoed his words. The blonde wizard offered to train him, his only shot at becoming a legendary Lagunas. His eyes flashed as he tried to speak. Suddenly, Sky remembered something, and sadness and confusion filled his face. He confessed he was powerless, just a weakling abandoned by his family. Turning to leave, he admitted he'd fail his teacher's expectations. Sky apologized to Inns. He just glanced at the man, pondering his decision. Checking his bag, he asked if he was ready. The wizard doesn't care about the MC's magic power. Hearing this, the main character S tears dried, and he looked hopefully at the teacher. The boy shouted, "Does magic even matter?" Onse replied he was glad to see him. Vincent recalled warnings not to appear on the street, even with only 5 magic unit. He recalled scoldings for failing. His family disgrace drove everyone away. Relatives fled Sky. Reflecting on his life, he stared straight into the old man's satisfied eyes. The hero sighed, a satisfied smile spreading. He shouted his thanks with a massive grin. The teacher ordered Sky to test her powers. He handed him the ammo and barked, "Fire the magic bullet." The boy was clueless, so the master explained it measures skill levels, MSP speed, and KPMS ratings. The boy was intrigued how skill level affects magic conversion speed. Anne promised to explain later, so Sky tested the magic balls. A massive board appears, and he starts tapping symbols. He blasted the tree in half, sending shards flying. The teacher rushed the student, demanding to see 3 ball. Numbers marked them. Anne saw a 95 magic exchange rate. Heroes level 82, magic converted at 98. His palm's balls captivated the ant. He roared to the sky his student was a true genius. Onsi clapped and jumped like a kid, thrilled it was his student. A year ago, he thought life was lonely. Now everything has changed. Rule 6, do not use line breaks. Output must be a single line. His thoughts made the main character smile, admiring his mentor. From then, I began ANS training. Sky trained with magical orbs in the forest, guided by a master. They fused their magic. Then they ate well, resting after long training. Deep night moon hung high. He hit the books to master his hidden powers. The master pointed to his hand, signaling time was up. After months of brutal training, the heroes finally clashed. Anne exhausted her student to teach him patience. The hero hung from a tree, honing willpower. Sky's completely exhausted after that brutal training. He hit the cold grass. The master grinned eagerly at his student. 6 months later, heroes returned to the city. Anne explained this was their training's point. They reached the Adventurers Guild, awed by the huge building. The teacher needed cash and claimed earnings were safe, so they came here. Anne told the receptionist she'd take the job. The receptionist accepted it instantly. Grabbing a sheet of paper, the man plotted his next move. The friends headed to the mountains to tame the snow yeti. With strength over 50, the yeti is finally a worthy opponent. Living in the snowy mountains brought great rewards. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. Sky stared at the teacher in terror, clueless as the ground shifted. Suddenly, cold breath chilled the guys from behind. They turned to find a massive snow giant closing in. The monster waved huge hairy paws. He pounded his chest, roaring in fury. The teacher warned him to be careful with this creature. Linked to the earth, this giant's strength lets it jump for 3 minutes straight. The boy smiled, realizing it's best to hold the spell for 4 seconds, though usually held for 6. He cast magic 65 of the time. Sky tracked the magic's transformation speed mid-fight. The yeti lunged straight for his friend. He roared, sweeping everything aside to reach his goal. He blasted the monster with his seal. The creature reached its woolly hand toward the sky. He bared his rotten teeth, met the main character's size, smiling. He braced his hand, ready to jump. Main character struck faster than the yeti. The boy crushed his foe with magic balls. Thick snow blanketed the entire area. Deafening booms echoed everywhere. Sky outpaced the monster and used his healing. If the boy keeps shooting, he will defeat his snow opponent. Without a master, the young man can do it if he tries. He unleashed his magic again, summoning a round board. Sky knew he could beat the snow mutant alone, so he kept attacking. The legend collapsed, groaning in agony. Victory in hand, he bragged about his smooth win. Screams and roars erupted from behind, and the boy spun around in shock. He lunged with jaws wide, but the boy didn't flinch. Rick's loudness popped her ears. Sky grabbed them. The mutant closed in with a wicked grin. Hero knew it was over. Suddenly, he hits the dirt, blasted by a barrage of magic orbs. Anne tells the hero it resembles his bullet, but creates in 1 second. He used it only for Yeri now, Sky must use it against him. The teacher called it the hemp method. Master it, and it's always a backup. He faced a snowy opponent waiting to turn its power against him. The boy bared his teeth and glared at the monster. He still didn't get magic, but there was no time to wonder. The boy considered his options. The portal reopened, and he scrambled for a weapon to fight the beast. Finding what he needed, the boy seized it. Anne stared at her student, surprised and ready to help. Suddenly, his spells sped him. The boy ruthlessly blasted his foe with magical orbs. Massive snow chunks slammed into the fallen enemy as he glared at the sky with resentment. The snowman's strength was useless against the opponent. He became faster, jumped further, dodging attacks. He sped up every second, lunging at his enemy. The Yeti lunged as bullets whizzed past his feet. The monster was powerful, but the hero refused to lose. He smiled, realizing the hero double-shifted, moving much fast. The boy desperately fought back, aiming to kill his enemy. He could land 1,000 hits before the monster reached him. The teacher realized his student would become the fastest wizard. The character instantly transformed to 100 with magic. The monster stirred to life, and cold breath escaped its disgusting maw. The creature fell backward, the main character watching the Yeti drop. Fatigue and anger twisted his face. Sky knew he'd beaten the creature. The teacher shouted, "It was incredible," and the hero grinned. Shaking the boy, the teacher yelled, he hit 100 magic transformation to form the sphere. Both happy, Anne couldn't believe she saw this miracle. The hero used cannabis to hit 100, and it worked. Sky was thrilled he'd conquered everything to become the strongest wizard. The boy thanked the master for the life-changing advice. Hero thanked teacher for help. Still much to learn. Pernetta grinned at her favorite teacher. Teacher said he was glad to meet Sky. He flashed a wide, bright smile. Mana is everything. The Sky family rejected him for his weak mana. One day, a mysterious wizard reveals CMPs matter more than mana, and Anne's a natural. Hero trains with Ansa, honing skills. He transformed into a legendary creature with 100 kilometers per second, named Laglas. The guild awarded heroes money for defeating the Yeti. She found it strange the heroes completed an A-class task on their first mission. Sky rebelled, unaware it was just a rank A task, so his teacher let him learn the hard way. Hero realized his vast learning made him infallible. ANS saw the MC's EMP and skills hit 100, confirming his insane magic affinity. The boy saw something incredible. Sky noticed the master skipped those topics, while Anne's mind was elsewhere. The heroes hit the city and walked the crowded streets. Master each spell has a mastery level, showing your command. Imagine you now and 6 months ago launch a magic ball together. Either the hero's bullet misses or the higher level wins. Hearing this, the boy knew it was time to talk EMP. Anne says the spell takes 100 power, but the wizardess energy changes the exact cost. If your magic efficiency is 50, a 100-unit spell costs 200 units. The main character realized the key is fast, efficient magic conversion. High indicators mean mana quantity matters less. With every skill maxed, the hero is ready to break his limits. Suddenly, the teacher sent them to buy bread. The heroes entered, and the MC's jaw dropped at the massive stock. Swords, knives, and various weapons filled the walls. Vases and hammers stood opposite, with bows and arrows scattered around. Wands boost spell power, channeling magic better than your body. They suggested the main character S uniform. The teacher explains, a staff isn't always just a wooden stick. It varies magic, ease of use, or preferences. Anna says these 3 affect spell strength. Everyone has their own sticks, become fans or katanas. They wanted the MC to pick what best suits his style. Staring at his fist, he wondered which rod was right for him. He started with his special trait. He's low on mana, so big spells are out. He cast spells instantly, but couldn't use the advantage. His magical bullet skill hit 100 points, his strongest weapon. He excels at ranged combat with magical orbs. A rapid fire staff is his perfect weapon. Sky grasped his need. You showed him the vital stick. Days passed since the exam and buying the wand. Both heroes ready the staff. The ants tested the staff's power boost on the hero's ball. The boy must hit the center with his magic projectile. No need to step back. He absorbs the magic power. The main character prepared for the attack and eyed his target. He gripped the staff, ready to unleash the magic orbs. Suddenly, his eyes snapped wide and sparkled. He had a large pistol in his hand, ready to fire. The boy fired blindly at the obstacle. The hero's magic weapon blasted the center and every other arm. The teacher praised the boy for choosing a rifle-shaped staff. Since he uses dual spells, a two-handed weapon suits him. They judged the spell as power by the color shift of the circles around the impact. The teacher taught his stick a use. Without it, her strength hit 200. He stared at the master, confused by his demand. Anne warned the sky looked wrong. When the magic sphere exceeded 500, the master cheered. It typically jumps 1-1 to 1 3 times. The master never heard of a staff boosting strength 2-5 times. The MC and employees get along great. The young man was thrilled with his wonderful result and made time for revision. He asked the boy how many main groups magic is split into. Many believe in beginner, experienced, preparatory, forbidden, or ancient spells, but he said only 4 exist. Teacher praised Hero's answer. Forget forbidden spells, focus on 3 categories. Anne told him this ancient system is still used today. He noticed average spells took up to 4 seconds to cast. Basic spells crush single targets. Intermediate magic clears crowds. And top-tier spells deal massive burst damage. Anne praised the hero for his deep knowledge, saying even if he's not a legendary Legolas, he can still become a great healer. Teacher realized he never told the hero he was a mage and healer, despite his appearance. The boy stared in silence as the light-haired man spoke. Sky grabbed his face, screaming in shock. But the teacher says he could have just read it in a book. The master explains these 3 spell types are ranked by power level. The boy has magic ball, power is 200, but the wand boosts it to 500. He fires 2 magic balls back to back. He looked at the student and asked if it was clear. In 0.1 seconds, this spell hits like 1,000, and by 0.2, it crushes advanced magic. Hearing this, he choked up. He called fixed mana complete nonsense. He didn't even imagine that the magic sphere could be so powerful. Teacher claimed magic mastery, but clearly needs to learn more. Ants tried to steal Sky's wand, but a strong blow struck him. The hero turned, warning the teacher to back off, his kid. Anne stood shocked. 6 months of training passed. Sky leveled up his magic using a gun-shaped wand. The master closed his eyes and let out a satisfied breath. He slammed the book shut. Then he called the MCS name, toying with his weapon. He praised the boy's talent, honed by tough training and perseverance. A year later, the boy became legendary Lugals and powered up. Sweat poured down his face, stunned by how fast it all went down. The teacher taught the hero everything. He's ending the journey here to go home. The boy asked the teacher if he was leaving Vincent's territory. The teacher confirmed it. Sky looked down, heartbroken. His favorite teacher left. Sensing the hero's distress, the master stepped in to cheer him up. He's ashamed to burden his dad, and his fiancée waits at home. Anne's wasn't with her, instead pursuing the legendary hunters the host always mentioned, and found them. Sky thought his fiancée left him after their long separation, but the man replied she loves him, so she wanted to leave. With arms crossed, the blonde declared this year his most beneficial. The master finally thanked Sky for his hard work. He clenched his fists and finally spoke up. He turned to the master in grief, shocking him. Sky said 4 years passed, but Anne calmed the hero. He begged the hero to return to his girlfriend, but the blonde just sighed. MC yells for the ants to rush the bride, but the host claims he'll stay even longer once they try to drag him home. He's leaving in a week to prep his food. Anne agreed, facing her student, bowing her head. The teacher calls a week of prep a waste. Then the light-haired hero challenged Sky to fight one last time. He accepted the deal and warned his mentor not to whine if he got hurt. Heroes faced off, battle ready. Sky made the first move, and no one stopped him. Teacher gaped, boy, instantly. Double-spelled, bullets riddled the man. They fought back hard, trying to tear each other apart. The teacher smiled, unlucky in the shootout, as his body flew back meters to the tree. Sky shot at the tree where the blonde hid. The boy stopped, grinning at his victory. He shot more, bullets slamming into the tree. The tree cracked, then snapped in two. Dust settled. The boy saw no one behind the tree. He looked around, confused. The master had vanished. Beside him lay a fallen tree, but Ansi had vanished. The hero eased off the trigger, sighed heavily, unsure what to do. Sky scanned right, nothing. He looked right and fell into despair, realizing he'd missed something. He sat on a fallen tree, wondering where the owner disappeared. He's blindsided from behind. Sweat poured down his face as he realized he was in deep trouble. Anne activates the magical seal. Blondie grins at his student. Sky knew they'd reach him in seconds, giving him time for exactly 4 shots. If he does that, he'll never beat his teacher. He stood 0 chance in close combat. His thoughts sparked a wide smile. His eyes burned with fire. What should I do? The day Sky turned immortal, he hid a secret from the master. The boy realized he'd gained a new power. Hero attacks his teacher. This new power lasts only 10 seconds. But the main advantage, this spell's power doubles. Prep time is halved now. Magic spheres spawn in just 0.05 seconds. EMP doubles to 200, slashing spell costs in half. The boy ruthlessly hammered the master with all his power. The man flew closer to the trees, flipping onto his back. He aimed both pistols straight at Ansa. Sweat poured down his face. Anne lay still on her back, unable to get up. Muzzle smoke billowed. The hero approached his teacher. He lay motionless on the ground, face twisted in horror. The boy touched the master to check his pulse. He touched it, and nothing happened at all. The hero realized he'd gone too far and seriously injured Onsens. 2 weeks later, NSE told Sky goodbye. His time was up. Teacher praised his battle performance. Then the hero crashed for a week straight. Ignoring the apology, the man stood stunned by the MC's instant magic transformation. The Sky admired Ants, praising its wonderful speed, 0.5 per second. The hero reached out to shake the young man's hand. The master suggested meeting again, a sincere smile lighting his face. Sky met the man, shaking his firm hand. His teacher gave him everything. But now he was leaving him behind. 6 years later, 15-year-old Sky crushes 999 in the Man of Measure. With mana under 1,000, he's officially a level BB mage. His famous accountant family sent him to a prestigious magic academy. A changed man, the hero now attends the academy. He asks which counterattack gets him disqualified. A year ago, before the academy entrance at Vincent S. Estate, Sky stood at his father's desk and met his eyes. Father gasped, shocked at how much his son had grown since they last met. Then the main character snapped that this happened because the man wasn't paying attention. Father said his son likely wanted to cross 1,000 mana by his 15th birthday. He wanted Sky kept secret, but the boy still had to attend the Magic Academy. The Magical Academy is the nation's top magic school, training elite nobles and gifted commoners. Sky raged, sending his son to an aristocrat school disgraced their family. Unwise. His father shipped him off to be the family's second son, Salah. He realized if Saul's successor fell, Sky was the backup. The hero sighed, then decided. He refused his father, seeing no personal gain. His father apologized for the rejection, dragging family drama straight into Sky's school. Clenching his fist, he shouted, unable to believe his father could joke now. He remembered growing up completely alone. Turning to leave, the hero told the family saving them wasn't his duty. Father jumped up, aiming to interest his son and calm his anger. He'd give the kid another third of the land, even after the heir already claimed the estate. The old man says the father will force his son regardless, but he doesn't want to go too far. He paused at the exit, weighing his father's word. He was promised a third of Vincent territory. The hero realized this was a profitable offer with good terms. Graduating Magic Academy would bring him fame and open new opportunities. Moreover, even if the Countess family is not the best, their interference in his life can create many problems. He accepted every one of his father's terms. Sky agreed to go to the academy for him, but there's a catch. Father shouldn't interfere with his life while he's in the mansion after graduation. Laughing, the man waved his arms, saying this was what he wanted. The hero warned him, stay hidden to avoid the nobles. The hero left his father's office and stepped into the corridor. The man's last words didn't surprise the boy he already knew. Time passed, the hero hit the street. Among shaded trees, loud gunshots suddenly erupted from twin pistols. Sky stood over the monster, lowering his weapon. The boy lost it, screaming in rage at his dad's constant pestering. After that, the hero dragged along 2 giant bears, thinking that his father couldn't even get any money for him. The hero brought 2 huge brown bears to the Adventurers Guild. One of the women couldn't believe that Sky had defeated 2 A-class monsters in one day, but she is a record holder who has already defeated the Yeti one. The boss stared in awe, certain that giving him the gold card was no mistake. He earned an award and a gold card for his top-tier achievements. Everyone admired the young hero, disbelieving he'd already received a gold card. The cheerful Sky ignored the boy's whispers. One girl noticed him whisper. She approached and greeted the young man, catching him off guard. Arya Tatangalu introduced herself, a marquis daughter joining the Magic Academy this year. She pulled out a gold card, knowing it was a major conversation starter for their age. Arietta grilled Sky, figuring if he defeated 2 monsters, he was clearly an expert. The girl wanted his name, and if he'd join her at the Magic Academy. The boy refused to give his name. This offended Arietta since she greeted him first. She teased they were likely classmates and would uncover his name soon, shocking the hero who didn't know classes existed here. The girl explained Academy of Magic classes are skill-based. She never saw this coming, but she'll uncover the truth. He reveals his real name, and Arietta gasps to learn he's from a count's family. She suddenly questioned the hero's remaining mana. The main character stared, confused, unsure what to say. He was surprised she knew nothing. B-class was well known in the Countess family. Looking at her again, Sky thought that this girl was very strange. She draws near, noting his hidden mana proves he's incredibly cautious. She shrugged, realizing they'd probably compete for top student. She pressed a finger to her lips, signaling a secret and saying she'd be waiting. The girl loudly declared she'd never met a worthy opponent, thrilled he finally arrived. She waved, saying they'd meet again soon. Arietta took flight, leaving him alone with his thoughts. The hero watched her, utterly confused by what was happening. 5 words cut. Let's go with the more dynamic one, as the persona is a fast-paced narrator. Wine-torn leaves caught the boy, SI, and whipped past. The day finally arrived for the students to head inside. Hero dropped the card on the nightstand and left. The card lay open, all data visible. Manus 999, 100 magic usage. Based on the results, they officially ranked the Sky Class E. Hero always knew he'd land in Class E. He believed students only mastered 14 or 15 spells. Crowds saw him through the glass, calling him Magician BB. The kid had no clue. Annoyed by the attention, a wicked grin twisted his face. He knew the bullies would target him, and it'd be a total drag. The observers say this year's class is packed with talent, not just Sky. At 15, Ariadne has 28,000 mana, outclassing even the greatest wizards in history. In Class A, a girl looked for Sky, unsure where he vanished. People whispered, pointing at another girl, "Meet Lady Sophia Nashor, the former king's 6th daughter." Weak since childhood, she chose Category E. Boys mocked her, saying they'd support her if she studied with them. Her gentle face captivated them. She smiled. Embarrassed, the boys watched her lead. Sophia looked skyward, her cheeks flushing pink. Surprised, the boy couldn't understand why she was staring like that. Sky stretched and yawned loudly, but the Lord never looked away. Academy training was a cycle of the same endless arguments. On the first day, Sophia still turned to look at the boy. On the 7th day, she looked at him, but couldn't speak. This was also on the 14th day of his stay at the academy. Sky wondered why she paid so much attention to him. Her face flashed back, even closer than before. The heroine mumbled something strange, catching the boy's attention from a distance. Sophia said that after school, she wants to talk about something with the main character. Looking down, she whispered she'd wait for him behind the school. He was totally lost. She stepped back and sat down, leaving the hero alone with his thoughts. He had no idea how he caught a royal's eye. He couldn't believe her confession, wondering what she was really after. Finally, lessons ended, and the girl left the large school. She sighed, waiting for the main character. The heroine reached the academy's boys' dorm. Sophia approached the boys' room. The plaque had the number 67 written on it. A loud, sharp knock on Sky's door enraged him. He shot up. The hero stared at the door, confused by the mystery visitor. Sophia stood by the door, smiling at the main character's annoyed face. She reminded him about the invitation she had given to come after school, but Sky immediately brushed it off, saying he didn't think anything would come of it. Hero asked girl if she wanted to explain and how. The boy wasn't taking her trash talk anymore. Her face snapped in surprise, cheeks reddened. He gaped, asking her demands. Suddenly it all clicked. Sky asked if she was confessing, but she shot him down instantly. Her words stunned the boy, while Sophia recoiled, shocked by her own outburst. She wanted to drop it. The conversation got absurd. Pouting, she told Sky Vincent she had major news. She touched the couple, confidently declaring everything was exactly as it should be. With a smile, the heroine said she's her Aunt Lancelot's best student. The boy stared in shock, confused by her sudden joy. He waited for answers, but Sophia just stood there, grinning. Sky was stunned. She remembered his master's name. The woman joined Class E to challenge Vincent. Vincent thought it was his poor health. She agreed, adding it was a story from her childhood. The master stayed by Sophia like a doctor, teaching her the truth about magic. The main character listened to this in shock and couldn't believe it. Sophia added, once he returned from the trip, he only talked about the sky. This annoyed her, ruining her peace and making her feel even worse. Sophia finally meets Sky Vincent, but he looks completely ordinary. Shocked, the boy asked about Anso, but she snapped, yelling at him not to say that name so casually. She pointed at him, demanding he listen closely. Sophia Nashor smiled, declaring Master Anne belongs only to her. The girl said she hit 93 magical transformation speed. Soon she'll be a legless legend, but for now the teacher only cares about Sky. The heroine was desperate for Master Ansa to notice her. So for now, the guy can enjoy his fleeting advantage over her. After that, the girl slammed the door loudly. Everyone spotted Mrs. Sophia leaving the men's dorm, and they were completely baffled. Sky hit the bed, exhausted. A knock hits the door. He figures the girls aren't done complaining yet. He exploded, wanting her off his doorstep for good. The man spotted something on the floor. A note slid under the door, demanding he rush to school immediately. Then the main character smiled. He was ready to crush whoever sent that note. Angry shouts suddenly erupted behind the school. The blonde lashed out at Sky for being late and wasting his time. He shouted the massive area behind the school required more enemy precision. He pointed at the hero, calling him rude and unchanged after 5 years. Sky asked how he'd know if he's changed without knowing who's talking. The enemy roared that Sky would never forget Balangalak and demanded he look at his chin, bending it with his magic blow. He didn't recognize the man, but figured it was a lucky family tradition. Balanga pointed and roared, refusing to tolerate his behavior. Lakes trained 5 years. His pathetic tricks won to work this time. Suddenly, Sky banned fighting on school grounds. The light-haired boy declared his friends are witnesses. Enemy blames the hero for everything, claiming he started it. Boy had evidence against Balanga. Balanga is signed note. The enemy boasts this year they gained 12,000 mana and cast 56 spells. Sky says the top student collected 28,000 mana. News stunned the blonde aristocrat. Friend Balang calms him, explaining this year as unusual students averaged 10,000 manas. The enemy twisted a wicked smile, gritting teeth, humiliated by the main character. He doesn't even have 1,000 mana, yet he's mocked. Sky replied, he isn't laughing because he believes mana isn't that important. Balanga unleashed his staff on the boy. He leveled a massive trident right at the hero. The boy saw the pure gold stick and realized it looked pathetic. The light-haired boy felt a strong connection to his pole, boosting his ski's power by 30 pun. He shrugged, saying his coefficient spiked 25 times. Blango raged, hearing he wasn't the best. Sky wants a peaceful life, if possible. He refused to back down against the ones who picked this fight. Irritated by the rival's bragging, the protagonist grabbed his stick weapon. Urging Balang to hurry, the boy loaded his weapon. The enemy raged, baring his teeth. Balanga pointed his trident, declaring the boy's game over. A seal appeared before the enemy. He declared no turning back. Surprised by the hero's first spell, a sequential water sphere, the boy realized it only lasted 1 second. Sky wasn't sure how fast he could transform. Hero's final second. This gave him the opening to strike. His jaw dropped. Shock. The main character felt things were moving slowly. They rushed to their wounded comrade and surrounded him. On a building's roof, someone watched it all unfold. His face unseen, the stranger sported light hair and a sly smile. A figure darted across the roof, staying hidden. Next day, new events unfolded. The whole school was buzzing with fresh rumors. Sky learned Balanga was defeated, stunning the young man. The MCS baffled how everyone knew the enemy was too ashamed to confess. Because of this, no one dared fight the main character anymore, and he found it convenient. Peace never came for Sky. Sophia constantly lurked nearby, glaring spitefully. She hated the MC, always eyeing him with suspicion. Now he could live in peace and ignore everyone. He sat in silence and nobody dared approach him. Sky's life was perfect. No one bothered him while he rested in bed. The character walked the schoolyard, warming up and deep in thought. After ages away, the boy headed back into the forest. Shouts erupted. Someone examined something. The bully cornered the boy, falsely accusing him of insults he never said. They swarmed the guy, screaming and blocking his escape. Sky hated it and refused to look. They aimed magic at the boy, begging them to stop, but opponents stood firm. Balanga moved on the shattered ball, but a sudden twist. Shot in the back, he couldn't fight back. Sky hid behind the wall, completely unnoticed by the teens. Everyone believed this boy hurt their leader. Sky kept firing, aiming to wipe out the entire company. 2 others lay on the floor, while the little boy broke free and escaped the bullies. He admired his work, then moved on. Instead of the forest, the hero napped in his room. Sky headed to the boy's dorm. A hand grabbed his, stopping him cold. The boy recoiled, checking who touched his shoulder. Sweat dripped from the hero's face. He couldn't grasp how those 2 approached him. Looking at them, the guy wondered how long they had been following him. The girl told Sky to lower his guard. Baffled, she couldn't wrap her head around how he pulled it off. Even the boy didn't know what they wanted. She explained the spell he used to drop those aristocrats. Sky smiled, claiming he didn't understand what the stranger meant. He fooled her. She brushed it off. Surin Astoria introduces herself as the student council president. She joined Ranger Kess, the vice president. Kes saw Sky fighting Belanga. The VP said this guy has an interesting ability, so Saren observed him longer. Sweat dripped from the hero's forehead as he realized he'd been watched all along. He didn't even notice. Boy smiled, asked why they didn't step in sooner. Shuren snapped that the student council exists to enforce school order. She knew Vincent would deal with those bullies, but that guy's spell interested her most. The student council head knew Sky didn't want to tell her. The hero grinned, confirming her word. The girl smiled at the boy. She'd have to pressure Sky to get the full story. He grabbed his wand, refusing to let anyone control him. He stood before them, refusing to move or speak. Siren revealed the chaos at the Magical Academy. His eyes widened hearing this. He is told magic in duels without permission is forbidden and punished. The ranger spotted the boy wielding his staff. Sky protested it was unfair. Others used sticks too, yet only he was punished. Soren bought the man as flattery. Their world and the council are rigged. She wouldn't punish the boy yet, deciding to handle the rest later. She promised no trouble if Sky listened. Her only way to stay in the academy. The hero silently scowls at both boys. He realized he'd just alerted several shard. The main character quickly entered the student council office. The three sat at the table, staring silently. Soren crossed her arms, proposing one thing to the main character. All this time, Sky sat, arms crossed, glaring at those present. Suddenly, she invites the hero to the student council. Stunned, he stared at her, unable to believe Lear's word. Rules state the council picks 3 Skies offered a spot. If the boy joins the student council, he gets huge advantages. He'll be fine. The rule prohibiting magic doesn't apply to council members. The student council rules the Magic Academy, and this proposal is massive. Sorium eyed him, awaiting response. He suddenly refused to work in this shady place. Even so, he completely outshines the rest. Sky didn't want to refuse this offer. Calmly finish academy, he loses honor but gains a third of the land. The hero refuses the important position. It would disrupt his peaceful life. Hairline pondered. She noted giving him a third of this territory would be very strange. Ron knows in 10 years this land inherits, passing to the second son by royal summons. She knew he was dead wrong. Sky remembered his father's promise, a third of the land. Even if the soul inherits family property, some of it still belongs to it. He snapped, fuming at his father's lie. Sky still refused the student council, unwilling to give up his school life. The young man saw no benefit in studying, so it was easier for him to just finish it. Seren nodded. She asked if he underestimated the Vincent family's power. If anything happens to the heir, it's forced to study at the academy. And if the sky suddenly falls, their dignity will suffer greatly. This will complicate the search for a new heir for the Vincent family. This is going to enrage the counts. He paused, then declared he didn't care about their rage. He'd crush anyone in his path, and his team always had his back. The hero pushed himself to reveal the evil count's deadly threat. Next, the hero fights a brutal war against his family. Sarun adds this ruins Sky's dream of living in peace. He asked if they really wanted him at the academy, and both confirmed it. She promised the girl bring anything she wanted to join the student council. This family ties back to one of Nashor's 3 duchies. Vincent's family is influential, but the History family is even stronger. Sarun waited, but Sky stayed silent, deep in thought. He said her promise was just words. She replied they'd arrange documents later. The boy was curious why it was so important to the girl for him to join the council. Sarun found him intriguing, promising him power and perks to join the council. The girl saw no problem. The pair locked eyes, awaiting the final decision. Sky asked what she wanted from him. She's got a job for him. Soren wanted her to control the students with those mysterious charms, just like today. The boy's satisfied smile vanished, as control isn't needed for peace. Serena agreed and touched his chair. Last year, they logged 59 complaints for magic violence. She backed away, asking the hero if he saw what happened today. Hero gasped, surprised. Sarun said aristocrats united to mock the weak. This academy reflects modern society. Sky hated what he saw today. The hero says it's all for the mood, not justice. The girl resisted. The boy had other reasons. She figured Sky's character drove his behavior. Sarun kept pressuring the boy to join the student council. Capable people deserve roles to excel. MC was convinced the student council would unleash the hero's full potential. Sky became her father's slave, who only promised lies. Or he can choose a new path to success and exciting things. He hung his head, thinking. He tugged the bracelet worn only by the student council. The boy confidently declared he'd join the student council. But he promised that he would leave immediately if he got bored. Next meeting, they picked the best assistant. Most only noticed the elder's band he wore. Sky anticipated this reaction, so he stood aside and observed it all. Voices roared. They tried to calm them. On stage, a man announced elections for a familiar, student-friendly candidate. Many people favored the dragon. His strength left no other choice. The manager handed out the tools needed to fulfill the contract. As the crowd wondered if the dragon could win, suddenly an old man shouted to Sky Vincent. Asked which magical pet he'd keep, the hero stopped to think. The boy demands a magician who looks human. They know how these stories go. Sky knew familiars aren't from this world. They're summoned from the kingdom of poles. The client controls them. They can harm anyone without orders. Injured in battle, 2 or 3 days in the spirit world, and all wounds vanish. They won't die while their contractor lives. The hero prepped the ritual to summon his familiar. The hero focused to properly conduct the entire contract signing ceremony. Sky drops a drop of his blood onto the plate. Next, magic finished the job. A piercing light engulfs him. The boy peered through the bright light. Right there, his spirit helper's body parts began emerging. A leg shot out. Suddenly, the main character got a creature like a small, domesticated clown. He thought he'd gained too sweet familiarity. The beast bows to its new master. The magician mastered wild tricks, altering anything by adding special conditions to his spells. Hearing his booming voice, Sky realized her creation wasn't sweet at all. The boy knew this beast was a perfect match, ignoring its color and skills. The clown asked Sky, "See the familiar S abilities now or in private?" The hero shunned the spotlight, and the creature disappeared, deeming it born. He quickly realized his creature was a total pain. After all this, the hero was in class. He rushed back to the dorm and resumed the contract ceremony. The board flashed a message after class. Sky must report to student council. The boy scratched his back, not getting it. A student asked the guy who he thinks he is to boast like that. His words enraged the main character. A classmate snaps that Sky is selfish since the teachers are only using the board. The blonde knew Sky's confidence skyrocketed after joining the student council. The main character irritably eyed his enemies. Ignoring the aggression, the hero admitted it was his fault. Light-haired classmate teased Sky, saying he didn't like him from the start. The hero realized peace was gone for good. Suddenly, he realized the young man dared to challenge him. He asked the boy about official duels, but the boy had no clue. The classmate wasn't surprised, calling other children to listen. He talked about his brother in the academy, sharing what he knew and heard. The boy announced they can now duel once a week. Winners get 1 point. Outraged, they insisted they did everything right, and the decision rested solely on the test. A classmate wants to win official matches to level up. The blonde boy pointed at Sky, vowing to defeat the new council member. If the opponent won, he'd have forced the guy out. He agreed, knowing the decision wasn't his. Suddenly, a blonde walked past him and said she would vote for him. Many voted Tatsu, not Sky. Hands shot up. Calling him a lagless legend, she asked if he ever loses. The hero vowed he wouldn't lose. Smiling, she agreed with him and said that she was looking forward to it. Sky headed to the student council room. Sarun apologized for the sudden summons. She wanted to introduce him to people, so she invited him. Meet empty Harelga. Sarun calls him a talented second year. Poos shook his hand, saying the president told him everything and he wants to be friends. They invited another girl much younger than Empty. Freshman Rim made it onto the student council today. She smiled, wanting to understand him, pure and clear. He grinned, revealing he joined the game before her. The girl gripped his hand. Heroin barely touched his hand, yet Sky felt agony. Surin says Rima is usually kind, but she's fuming over a typing error. Ordinary Remy lives in her family's estate, Historia. Looking at her, the main character knew she was Furia. Seren says she's been a powerhouse since childhood, earning a promised student council seat from the director. She messed up by letting Sky in first, and it set her off. The main characters suggested the girl make a deal with familiars today. She agreed if she joins the council first, she gets no special privileges. Suddenly, the girl glared at him. She dared him to be a real magician. The boy already knew official duels, so he didn't ask Surin. Rim vowed to finally crush the hero in his weird magic. But Sky just smiled. He'd recently learned it too. The heroes locked glares. Soren offered friendship, but they shut him down. Entering his room, the main character griped about the girl-less duel challenge. Sky ignored it and focused on the deal with his magic assistant. He emerged from hiding, greeting his master. The creature said that the only thing it is capable of is creating miracles or making mistakes, but sometimes something amazing happens to it. Satisfied, he asked to name his new spirit. He just shook his head and said that he could be called whatever he wanted. The hero called him a clown, But the wizard didn't see the difference. The boy asked the clown for magic with the balls. Sky knew this beast was either a miracle or a nightmare. Clown says he knows the boy is magic. The magician revealed Sky was the first to use special magic. A young man asked about trick restrictions, but they told him no rules. The clown demanded Emma's voice his request. He asked if his bullet could destroy Earth, and the clown confirmed it. Surprised, the boy asked about his reward. The wizard's price, sending the boy to another world. He was struck by everyone discussing this issue so much, but he wanted no part. The creature refused, even if the boy begged her. Sky realized the wizard could do it, but only if he accepted it first. The clown slumped on the candlestick, sighing. MC grinned, seeing it all. The hero boosted the orb as spell. The creature was surprised we're into these dragon abilities. Hero shook his head. The clown sin. The boy said it's 1,250 times more than an advanced spell. He was about to act when the guy slammed a hand over his mouth. Sky knew his power would grow, but not the price. The creature groaned, desperate to speak. The boy dropped his hand. The clown urged him on. He asked to slowly increase the load, making the collapse less abrupt. You added conditions to boost durability. Over time, the clown's task grew harder, and he realized fearing failure is normal. The hero aimed his magic ball to strike Protanic more accurately. Mari tanks magic with physical defense, while Sky draws all the fire. An unusual concession. An ordinary shell would have hit. The clown grinned with delight and told him to keep going. Sky warned 10 hit chance, but base spell power stays 500. One hit spikes this to 550. Second hit also boosts power to 600. The hero confirms strength can grow, pushing the max to 2,000. Finally, the creature truly understood. Sky explained everything, and now it's time to respond. He planned his next move. Hope sparked in his eye. The clown praised his badass nickname. Circling the table, he mocked the hero's nickname, the wizard with a weak stomach. He was a mere BB mage, believing all familiars knew everything about their masters. The creature agreed, whispering into the man's ear. He asked the hero if he suffered so much for little mana. The clown turned the mana shortage into pure agony. Landing the magic sphere boosts power by 10 miss, and the magic bullet costs 10 more. If the enemy blocks her, it's a miss. He really thought it over. Sky saw the clown targeting a sensitive spot. The MC confirmed the magic balls were ready. Clown grins as magician preps trick. His acquaintance said goodbye. If anything happens, call. The hero realized he'd picked a fascinating character. It fascinates him. Sky sips his juice. It tasted amazing, crafted specifically for the school council. Little time left until the match. The boy spotted two people in a heated argument. The young man stayed out of it. It wasn't his problem. A girl behind him revealed the students told friends they went to the Adventurers Guild. He choked on his juice when he saw the girl. The council president assigned them a mission hunt, those second years tomorrow. The girl asked why he had that look. He waved it off, ready to do anything for that grain drink. Thick clouds blanket the sky. Both heroes head out to finish the mission. Rem hurried Sky. Heroes descended endless stairs. Sky didn't get their search for the missing fruits. She stays silent. Boy glares at her. Behind her, he saw a staff, not a sword, and understood. Her staff resembled a sword it could chop and fight up close. He figured she used light or earth powers for close combat. The hero was totally lost. He called Remy, she understood. She instantly unsheathed her blade. Soft leather wrapped the sword's handle. She controls light, a mid-tier spell cast in 3 seconds. Sky was stunned. It deeply impressed him. Her magic transformed 80 faster. Rhyme said her strengthened staff becomes 10 times sharper for 3 minutes. She didn't want to harm the hero, so she asked him not to interfere. He wondered who she truly was. Cobalt suddenly blocked their path. Rome let out a heavy sigh. She used her first skill, moving at incredible light speed. Girl's sword danced. Our MC was absolutely hyped and loved it. Sky realized the girl excelled with her sword. He saw her as the strongest girl. Wizards are all the same and too slow. No matter how strong the magic, it has zero effect on her. Rima fumed the guy did nothing himself. Hero whipped a staff from his belt. The boy shouted. He didn't care how many attacked him. The girl faced her opponent, determined and confident. She brutally slammed the kobold. He stood right in front of her. A bloody hole tore through his chest. The beast dropped dead. Remy was stunned. She couldn't kill him. Sky gunned down the creature with his pistol. He smirks, claiming he's fast too. Confusion gripped the girl. MC left the guy intrigued. She resented Sky killing the monster alone. Rime noticed she cast spells faster. To beat Cobalt, they need a massive spell. The girl wanted the secret of this shot. Both heroes pushed deeper. A magic circle appears, revealing the boss. Both stared in surprise. Remy wanted no one here. A huge pig blocked them. They passed corpses. The heroes realized they faced the Orc King himself. Second-year students littered the ground. The monster wouldn't dare attack him inside the tunnel. Sky says the Orc King has 1,000+ HP. The girl fumed at the hero's cleverness. The boy claims the creature is no threat. Sky summons his spirit helper. He spoke his name. Remy followed suit. Two familiar creatures watched from another world. A massive bird burst out. The Thunderbird moved with lightning speed. The man realized the creature was just an ordinary chicken. Girl snapped at hero, cut the nonsense. They fought the orcs. The boss sensed it. He spun around in shock, nearly tripping. Two heroes with raised swords stood in his way. She summoned her assistant. Facing the boss, energy surged around Romy. Suddenly, a massive explosion. She fought like hell. She urged her boss to surrender. The pig's face grimaced terribly. He lunged at the main character. He dodged and struck the beast. Sky flashed the signal he and the clown planned. The mutant homosexual shifted from girl to boy, still beating him. Gunshots erupted. The Sky slammed the orc leader back. The boy stared, amazed by it all. The pig went berserk. The boy kept hammering him with spells. The creature's magical reflection dealt massive damage to the attacker. MC thought this spell too risky for the Orc King. The young man schemed to beat the evil boss. You kept shooting the Sky. The heroine dropped some advice. Both stopped as the creature began casting a spell. The mutant unleashed waves of darkness. His magical reflection was to last just 10 seconds. Sky knew he couldn't win the fight instantly, but running away wasn't an option either. They charged the beast, knowing it was fight or die. The protagonist knew. She swung on magic. 10 seconds later, magical reflection activated. Darkness slammed the creature. The heroes pressed their relentless attack. Sky kept blasting the orc chieftain's body. Heroine unleashed a magical swing. The creature's pupils dilated. He shot the wounded pig. Second-year bodies still littered the ground. Sky pinned the creature. Rima killed it. More gunshots rang out. The main character did not stop. Girl attacks Chief Orc. The main character let her win. Remy charges the mutant. The second time she sliced his head off, the monster crashed. It shattered. Sky watched the fallen mutant, fascinated. Too easy, he thought. But the girl thought otherwise. He realized the fight barely lasted a minute. At that moment, the heroine realized her friend was slow. Her head drooped. One look at him and she knew a duel was pointless. Shadow darkens her face. Time's up. The heroes walked, reliving the fight and praising the Orc King. Ramai mentions her donation, but Sky snaps that nobody forced her. Even the MC could do that. The girl never saw the sacrifice coming. But the hero explained he made a promise. He already knew the cafeteria. One of them stepped up. He had to talk to this character. The stranger called himself ASKR. Boy needs to tell him something. Thank them for the shelter's help. He knew he'd done nothing wrong. Shelter kids said Sky gave them money after returning from the guild. He didn't need the cash, so he donated it all to charity. This guy captivated ASKR. He said he was also in the shelter, and everyone praised Sky. Happy to help, the hero vowed to do it again. He's keeping his promise to a screw. Remy saw the boy kept his promise. Stunned, she saw the heroine also wanted to gift the president and grab ice cream. These donations last long. The whining pissed him off. Suddenly, the guy already judged the girl. She acts arrogant at school, but the truth is far different. She never abandons the weak. He called her a good girl. This hit the REM participants hard. She leaped for joy, realizing he meant it. After that, the main character invited her to a cafe for ice cream and paid for it. Days passed. Set duel rules and student grading. Now official duels begin. Remy 2nd, Balanga 4th, ASKR 134th. He realized Remy is a beast. ASKR approached Sky, telling him he was right in the middle. The boy said talking to him made him look bad. Ignoring it, he demanded Sky reveal the hero's location. The soldier tried to learn his friend's name. By the end, the boy only cared about the money. The hero eyed the boy. He finally saw his rank. Sky was 249. He was shocked to find he wasn't in last place. ASKR thought teachers saw the boy's good behavior. Tootin snapped after seeing he was in last place. Everyone gets just one fight per week. Students enter the arena freely. Win 2 or 3 years straight, earn a permanent audience. More spectators mean special awards for students. Rydia Kesto drew most people to the duel. Match day finally arrives and Sky clashes with Hatsu. Tatsu's background was deep, while the main character's info was scarce. His rival had way more moves. Everyone was shocked. The young man only had 999 mana. Everyone thought the boy was magicless. Only cries scream. The Sky prevails. She passed the spectators. She demanded Tatsu admit defeat. She'd been warned her rating could drop. You're still powerless against him. She stumped everyone. They really wanted to raise the main character's rank by 1 or 2 positions. Now the young man hit the stage. Girl stared at him, despairing. The hero noticed her. He smiled. Both rivals squared up. A magical barrier rose mid-battle. He commanded 20,000 defenders. Hand-to-hand combat was allowed, but eyes and groin were off-limit. Sky summons an otherworldly wizard. You easily climbed from the pit and flicked his forehead. Tatsu summons his familiar. A dragon. Unable to strike physically, he surged his magic. You're all ready to fight. The command drops, the battle begins. Hero aims his staff at the enemy. Suddenly, Sky eyed his opponent, concerned. He'd never seen magic like this. This was the dragon's raw power. Tohu explained everything. He says this sacred wall blocks all magic. Even the hero couldn't save her. He decided to see for himself. Tatsu was unfazed by the main character's attack. Suddenly, the wizard doubled the magic sphere's power. The hero cranked his strength to 2,000. Sky tested if the wall was truly unbreakable. Low on mana, he needed to end this fast. Tatsu laughed. Balanka revealed Sky as cheating, but the hero was stuck behind the wall. He humiliated him. The hero played it safe. Tatsu excelled at fire magic, wielding many powerful, rare spells. He rips the wall open and strikes. Armed with a holy dragon and magic glove, he's unstoppable. The hero figured it was smart. This plan had massive flaws. The boy charged the dome and shattered the barrier. Tatsu never saw this coming. Sky slammed his opponent. The dome only blocks magic, so he'll just strike physically. Tatsu collapsed. The dragon fled to its lair when its master lost. Everyone leapt up and roared. Suddenly the man ascends to heaven. He raised his hand, ending the fight. Sky Vincent wins. Everyone found brawling humiliating and cheap. People demanded refund. The main character sighed. Bored by the fight, the wizard left too. Sky walked out of the ring. Tatsu dropped one rank below the Sky. Everyone called it unfair. He entered the hall and everyone instantly branded him a weirdo. Everyone says he's weak for a BB rank. Rem raged. She focused on the loudest one. The girl told them to say it to her face. Both gossipers froze in terror. They bolted from the hall. She turned to the boy and told him he got it all wrong. She couldn't grasp why the hero fought weaponless. Legal or not, even Remy hated it. If the hero unleashed his true strength, people would treat him differently. Second years always get physical in a fight. The hero was way too cocky for a freshman. She revealed Tatsu as popular in Class E. Offend him and Sky will be an outcast forever. The boy didn't get why the hero needed a month to recover. Rama declared him a weakling. He stopped to think. He asked why crayfish aren't a katana. Isn't it a trick, first light speed, then a katana to the throat? She warned the barrier would instantly detect any wand attack. Even strong mages, it only hits the barrier. Therefore, it didn't matter where they hit in the leg or in the neck for the main character. It changed nothing. The barrier takes a massive hit. A precise neck strike deals devastating damage. He featured in the combat manual. He headed out. She knew the hero would crush the next fight. I asked her, with the main character, dealt with her for offending Sky. The boy insisted it wasn't serious. The boy sighed heavily. Then ASKR smiled, as if he understood that this impressed the hero. Starry Night Fall. The hero studied a martial arts manual. A knock hits his door. A thunderous knock shook the door. The hero answered. A girl stood at the threshold, apologized, and almost spoke. Sky asked her, report. She screamed for his help. The boy looked at her in surprise. She was bustling around the room and trying to explain something to him. The boy pressed the girl for answers. Suddenly, she demanded Sky. He's the best in official battles. She says he crushed both matches at once. Sky did not understand this because he had only participated in one fight. But Remy just gave up without a fight. She used her connections to find out fast. The boy asked how to help her. She introduced herself as Full Min, a baron's daughter. She's in class. She had a favor for him. She needed 10 tournament wins. Heroin faced the boy, met his angry eyes. The boy snapped at the girl. Shocked, he asked what she meant. Fullman asked Sky to help him win 10 tournament rounds. The boy stared, surprised. Her dad warned her, get 10 wins or fail the year and get married off. He turned to leave, calling it cruel. But she told him to get serious. She offered the ultimate prize. After that, she revealed she could use unusual magic since birth. Long ago, a wandering wizard taught her forbidden magic. Sky wondered forbidden magic. Anson mentioned it. Is it possible? He asked what she did with the forbidden magic, and she replied it was just talking to a spirit guide. Unfazed since his familiar was already human, the hero stayed calm as she promised him this was only the beginning. She added, conversation reveals the beast is hidden powers, unknown even to itself. It was exhausting, so she rarely used it. The boy's face shifted, listening with pure interest. He was thrilled his thoughts were confirmed. He could gain more strength. Regretting her lie, she watches an inspired Sky refuse to help her. The boy, voice raised, said, with interest, he'd gladly help her. 30 top students earned state award. Fullman needs just 10 wins to satisfy his father. He asked what award she wanted. She asked about the famous healer. Injured familiars retreat home to fully recover in just a few days. The girl laughed, student counsel or not, he knows very little. Teasing him, the heroine revealed her goal, a new familiar doctor profession. Her tone made him squeeze her cheeks, demanding, "How do you know about this?" Looking him in the eye innocently, she claimed her magic heals her team and fixes their stress. Low demand doomed the project. But if she creates this special work, she'll get government money. Sky realized she was fixated on the problem. He reads her plan and thinks they have a deal. The essence is that he helps her win 10 times, and in return, he learns about the clown's secret power through forbidden magic. A cheerful yes confirms agreement. She asked for the 10-win strategy. Suspicious of the magic, the hero refused to watch and demanded real proof. Thrilled, the servant started calling the boy constantly. Sky checked if his familiar gained new skills or just raw strength. He shoved the skinny boy aside, waiting for a response. Fullman said, "Everything depends on you. You only know if you try." He found it useful, so he let it continue. She closed her eyes, focused, lost in thought. The world around her vanished. She pressed her hands to her chest, seeking strength from her heartbeat. He watched, confused, unable to grasp what was happening. She wasn't even singing. A bright light suddenly flared on her forehead. Eyes snapped open. The boy stared, mesmerized. The main character focused and, pointing with her finger, redirected the energy ball away from herself while continuing to hold it. She waved it at him. She pressed her hand to his chest, transferring energy. The clown stared, surprised, as energy pierced him, filling him with life. She sighed, relieved done. He asked if she felt anything. She did. He asked the clown about changes, but the clown felt nothing. He pondered, did his usual look stand out more? He hid his abilities from her. Eager to test it, he created a master to invent magic wave tricks. Magician sets a condition. Meet it, unlock new powers. Clown demanded his next move. Sky wants to buff his level 100 knockback wave. Right now, the basic spell only blasts enemies 5 meters away. He and the clown aimed to double it. He knew it'd stay at half power if nothing changed. The ghost looked at him with a special meaning in its eyes. The creature turns away, so the hero asks what happened. Clown drops his head. He offered double strength. Even the heavens were stunned. He awkwardly gave in. The creature reached for the man's chest and let out a piercing howl. The hero braced himself. Deal's done, time to ditch the trickster and fly. Fullman stared, shocked, as the boy-ass power surged. Freely given, this was awakening. The schemer now wielding immense strength. His friend rejected the magic arrow deal. So now he's ditching the trick creator. The beast retreated home. Waking up was a struggle. But forbidden magic is more powerful than he ever imagined. Forbidden or not, curiosity won. The girl watched the hero's satisfied face, terrified. She asked if it works. Got yeah. With her help, the hero's magic is leveling up, and he's ready for 10 more wins. Fullman's thrilled. The guy invited her to watch his fight so she could see how to win a magical duel. She'd come if free, but the hero shouted, demanding she show up. Week 2 of duels begins. The amphitheater stands packed with spectators. On the platform, 3 stand duelists flank the host. Right. Sky Vincent, Class C, 248 mana, 999. No special abilities, 4 skills, 1 win, 0 losses. Remes defeat uncounted. On the left, Class B, rank 52. Lark Goose, Earth user, 3,400 mana, 21 skills, and 0 battle history. Hero saw a crowd gathered. He declared he'd show her how to win duels. Watch closely. She beamed, waving from the stands. Host orders. Duelists, ready familiars. The clown appeared, grinning. Exhaustion gone, he's fully recovered. Earth Dragon Lark packs enough raw power to rival any of his kind. Host asked, ready, men. Fight began. Sky drew his gun and thought to Fullman. The enemy braced as the blitz hit. The dragon began to stomp its paws on the arena. Even after a warning shot, his glare didn't make the Earth Dragon flinch. The hero realized his enemy used his familiar as a shield, making every strike useless. He amplifies his magic, and the field erupts with louder explosions. The duelist charges into the roaring arena. Sky noticed he wasn't fighting back. Lark briefly stepped out from the dragoness protection. Sky noticed Vincent watching her, and he spotted Lark's geese. He seized the opening and blasted his enemy. Energy bullets streaked at Lark. He celebrated it worked out. His opponent dodged last second. Sky gasped. He casually sidestepped. Ready stands before the sky, a burning dragon behind him. Heroes glared at each other. The cloud warned 6 misses spikes, mana cost 1 6 times. The boy pondered. Dodging all his attacks was impossible. It meant something. He buffs up, charging Earth for 4 seconds to skyrocket his physical power. While Sky attacked, he cast the spell in 6 seconds, hitting 70 transformation speed before the dragon screeched. He snarled, falling. The brunette unleashed 100 double spells. The blonde couldn't believe his dragon, which always deflected 10 powerful spells, fell. Sky, exclaiming he doesn't a turn, instantly shot his opponent. Lark dropped, gripping his wounded leg. The crowd gasps as he drops from one hit. Someone yells to check the scoreboard. The blonde took 2,000 damage from one magic bullet. It outpowers the strongest spells. This system is broken. The loser dropped to his knees. He raged. He couldn't have let Class B's boy lose. Losing to this unknown, the thought burned inside me like fire. Sky wants to get rid of him with a magic ball. The gun gleamed in his hand, cold and dangerous. First, he's schooling these 4 men. The hero began to cast a spell, smoothly moving his hand through the air and drawing intricate magical symbols. Larks recovered, attacked the enemy again. He took a combat stance, poised to leap skyward, but enemy magic chained him invisibly. Movement was difficult, air thick like syrup. Sky realized he could move while casting and instantly seized the chance. Rookies lose by standing still. To cast Fix That to win. Sky was already back for more. He clenched his hand, blasting a powerful magic wave that made the air tremble and hurled the opponent back like a reed. The spell hit, and sharp pain ripped through the blonde. Coldly determined, his stern, relentless gaze promised he wouldn't stop. The magic impulse struck, dealing 200 damage. Recoil's getting worse, but Locke struggles up. Sky's favorite flirted girls in the crowd. The trick, goodbye, fly away worked. Magic Wave normally costs 50 mana, but now it's 80. After 100 orbs, the hero had 820 mana and saw his chance. Fullman watched the arena as the young man showed the girl his desires. No more stalling. The cold barrel leveled out as the shooter's eyes gleamed with icy confidence. Knowing this was the end, he barely smiled, then pulled the trigger. Sharp shots rang out as thick smoke swallowed the opponent. Smoke cleared, blonde lay still, limp. Spectators gasped. Fullman beamed. Sky sighed in relief, eyes closed. The hero poses confidently. The winner, Sky Vincent. Hero hears noise in the stands and notices people buzzing again. Above all, he needed her to understand everything. She celebrates her friend S' victory. He confirms it. She's hopeless. The girl cheered his name, but Rim was lost in thought, certain he'd been watching her the whole fight. Sky fell in love with her, and she blushed, realizing it. Suddenly, the hero shuddered, his skin crawling for no reason. Bad luck followed Tartan everywhere. Born noble, his family's carriage plunged off a cliff when he was a child. He never saw them again. But in reality, it turned out to be true luck, as he was found and raised by a wise man who lived in the mountains. Barely alive, he grinded magic under his master. He entered the magical academy, believing he'd see his family again. From the mountains, he took the entrance exam. Guided by the wise, he aced the written test and crushed the practical. He crushed the teacher in the strength match. It was truly impressive, as only 4 of hundreds managed it. All 4 passed. Tartan crushed the exams and knew Class A was his. Reading the task letter, his face instantly changed. He wondered why Class A student replied the reason was the magic he used during the exam. He only used 1 type. Good grades and mantras won't save you. 1 magic type means Class E. He raged, overwhelmed. He collapsed in the hallway. He bowed his head. His mountain descent flashed before his eye. The sage warned many call his magic forbidden. Ignoring the words, he rushed off to find the city. Hero realized forbidden magic was despised. His blood boiled. He clenched his fists. Tartan knew the system, but nothing banned forbidden magic. He thought his strength would crush everyone, but luck failed him, leaving him in 250th place. He raged below wizard. SBB. That is impossible. The worst result. He summoned Sky Vincent. He pointed right at him, demanding a formal duel, while the other responded with calm irony. Tartan unleashed his fury on Sky and they both clashed in battle. On the right, Sky Vincent, Class C, rank 198, 999 mana, no element, 4 techniques, 3 wins, 0 losses. On the left, Tarzan, Class E. The left side had been waiting for this day for a whole 3 weeks. During this time, the opponent had risen in the rankings. The duelist was confident a win would boost his rank. Battle starts. Tartan, confident, already holds his fighting stance. I pictured it, stealing the opponent as focus. Glory would be his. He pictured himself on the podium, crowds chanting his name. Fame means he'll meet her, but before he could think, a powerful enemy bullet reflected in his eyes. Sky's bullet flew at insane speeds, hitting before Tartan could react. Sky Vincent wins. Tartan's title remained. He looked up, the bullet still glowing. The hero smiled, finding the ball fast and cool. He spotted the glowing sign. Screen text appears. Teacher and student complaints ban the Sky Vincent magic ball for violating rules in official battles. The hero was stunned. He couldn't grasp why this beautiful magical sphere broke the rules, enraged by student and teacher attitudes. It clicked. His mysterious smile meant something. Sky stared at a sign, questioning the magic balls, until a voice warned him to stay focused. The hero spots the president and Rami as she warns that fear and envy in the academy breed malicious rumors. Remy spilled everything to the president, but he dismissed Sky's popularity as mindless noise. The blonde asked if he hadn't been called to fight yet, and if he'd be okay. He refused instantly, shocking them both. Say yes, just to avoid losing a final choice. She pressed on, knowing he'd say yes just to avoid losing. Actually, she pressed on, knowing he'd claim he. The hero won a fight when the odds are low. He never cared about this tournament. The blonde said he was offended because he couldn't easily break his summoner's spirit. Something's clearly wrong with him. The president intervened, telling judges to drop the rule for now. She smirked, claiming others have connections, but no one matches her power. Sky turned and strode forward, not caring, bidding his partners goodbye as the girls watched him leave. He says it, but the president is not buying it. We'll see. She knew Servancent and Baranga were trailing us. Lace. Remy pressed again. Was it true? The president felt almost certain. She'll plan after checking the facts, but warned her not to cause a scene. Remy snapped, confused and angry. The president warns remains mistakes will be obvious. And lately she can't stop talking about him. Blushing, she denied it. Down the hall, she loudly protested. Room 167. Sky sat buried in books. The books had zero info on forbidden magic, and Fullman was just as clueless. A knock sounds, and the man freezes as a crowd storms his room. He opened the door, revealing Tartan. Sky remembered fighting him. He asked the guest's goal revenge. Now that the magic ball is dead, he addressed the host. He apologized for the trouble and offered to help. He planned to unban his magic skyball, leaving the hero staring at Tartan in shock. He dryly thanked him, refused to argue, warned him not to waste time, then slammed the door goodbye. Tartan screamed that Sky couldn't quit just because the magic ball was banned. That's exactly why he came. He realized his forbidden magic could solve everything. Sky paused, seeing Tartan's sincere eyes, and smiled. He ushered him inside. I served the guests tea. He asked which forbidden magic they meant. Guest asked about forbidden magic. Hero knew little, only saw it yesterday and stayed silent about Fullman. Drinking his tea, the young man was sure Sky knows someone who needs this magic. Touching the enchanted sphere, he felt a power like forbidden magic. Then he said that he could use her help. The brunette froze. It's forbidden, yet the guest spoke about it openly. Arms crossed, he waited. The man repeated why he came, insisting he was ready. Tarson checked. Sky's file accepted with only 4 magic types: magical wave, whirlwind, seal, and invisibility. Magical sphere isn't listed. Everyone learns that basic spell. He revealed he only has 1 magic type while Sky stared into the void. Then he suddenly said that Tartan was just lucky to have been accepted at all. He laughed self-satisfiedly and added that this was how the school had officially assessed him. He can use several types, not just one. More than 700, he smiled calmly, eyes shining, waiting for Sky. He stared at the guest, confused. The normal limit is only 100 species. There are over 100 main types, but 700 total. He can use them all. It's insane, Tartan smiled, reading Skycon's mind. And what if he said that you could cross the line with forbidden magic? The voice was quiet, but each word literally cut into consciousness. Sky listened attentively. His lips curled into a predatory smile. Red sparks flashed in his eyes, a forbidden fire burning. Sky couldn't grasp why Tartan wanted to teach him. He replied, teeth clenched, as sincere emotion flashed in his usually ironic eyes for the first time. He wants to be friends. He fell for his rival's charming ball and vowed to help, but first, he had something to say. The magic bullet is legendary for its power and precision. It hit Tartan before he could blink, but Squire Conjure actually saw it coming. His mentor says few cast spells this fast, but true legends do it instantly. The young man listened. The wise man warned, if you can defy obstacles, run. Even a miracle want to save you. Sky's mind raced. Tartan's clueless about the delay. What a genius master, he's clearly been here before, trusting Sky to beat the clock. Only Void users can master the 7 achromatic demons, and the hero agrees it's the strongest forbidden spell. Sky demands the ultimate forbidden magic, the 7 colorless demons. This forbidden magic controls the body. Sky can master it in a week if he is perfect, but Tartan warns the real secret is something else. To master technology, you need effort. So listen to this guy. He explained the magic, and training for the new spell began. The boys meditated, read, and studied hard. They drilled stances as Sky studied, and Tartan coached him. We collapsed from exhaustion, and a week later we're at the academy. Sky holds a golden ring they order him to wear, it on his right hand. He obeys. Forbidden magic isn't like regular magic once used. You can just stop. Thorn explains how the ring stores this power. He explained that removing the ring kills his forbidden magic. The rule: 1 spell per person. Sky listened close. He suggested that if the ring were replaced, it would be possible to use another forbidden magic. The young coach kept it simple. Nothing changes but the ring. He explained it only works for the owner, useless to others. Sky understood, then stared surprised as Tartan prepped to reveal the most important thing. He warned, never use 2 forbidden spells at once. Even to save your life, it triggers a total disaster. You will die, Sky reeled in shock. Shocked, he hears the blonde explain, only 1 ring exists, so you don't die pointlessly. He stared at his finger as a strange energy pulsed beneath the skin. Forbidden magic is called that for a reason. Brunette smiled because it changes him, and it becomes even stronger. He clenched his fingers into a fist. Tartan looked kindly at his friend. 7-colored demon training is finished. Now it's all up to the heavens. He's on his own. The boy nods and closes his eyes. He thanked his teacher. Second spun around, surprised. Sky invited him to dinner, and a beaming Tartan instantly agreed. Next day, the brunette hit the library, gathering books to study. He knew defeating the 7 colorless demons required extensive reading. Gathering his things, he started down the corridor when a voice called. He saw a familiar face, a displeased smile forming. He saw his brother Suru, Vincent as second son, tall with light hair and expressive eyes. Sky's face was joyless. He ironically asked his long, unseen friend why he made him wait here. Suru warned his brother's actions were drawing heat. He doubted his motives, then remembered their father's strict rules for him to move. He remembered Stalo, finish your studies. Turin saw Sky as a mere replacement, but now that he is royalty, Suru backs the Vincents. The father fears his lineage will end, so Sur sends Sky to the academy. The elder sees no benefit in him becoming the heir. The blonde promised with him here, they're safe. He'll inherit the family and lead them to glory. If his brother meets conditions, he gets the lands father promised. He knew it. Promising land. Ridiculous inheritance took 10 years. He had to tell the royals turn to second son, Sylvincent. Sky agreed, apologizing for drawing attention. Smirking, he claimed this forest would bring glory to their family name. The brother snapped, but you told him to face facts. Sky is just a cowardly wizard. Sarah still saw him as a pathetic loser, no matter what. He muttered that this failure must stay secret to protect the Vincent name, and the men fell silent. He pitched his brilliant plan. The family would be famous nationwide. Even the academy would know their name, all thanks to Cheese. He's ranked second for a reason. That student council member has been #1 for 2 years, and to win the presidency, he'll even surpass the Baron. He boasted he's the new faction representative, claiming it's his business alone. The Sky Watches at the magic school, students split into 2 camps. Cernits value student ability, not commoners or nobles, but remain absolutist aristocrats with strict admissions. Just in case Sora spent a year building her faction, he'll spend the year grooming his successor. Since Class A, Sky's watched Fullman, now the most energetic student of the bunch. That's Berenga Res, the guy with the insane smile. His brother's words shock Sky. Suru praises Berenga's power and status. The brunette disagreed, brother pointed at him. Sky blocked them again. Berengi has 4 straight wins, but he's still only second. Saru asks Sky why, and finds out another fighter is also 4-0. In Class E, win quality matters more than the count. Sky can just scrape by at the bottom, especially after his brother called him a coward. Arita holds first place, Tonga Roy, with 2 more victories. Suru blames brother Baranga for losing first place. The hero demanded answers. Blonde understood perfectly his successes, and he hindered their plans. Brother thought hero used fake magic, suggested joining the student council. Memories of his mentor flashed by. Is this the basis? Does he really think magic is fake? Sky realized his time with the master was a lie. Corrupt forces run the school. The main character vows to fix it. Sarah reveals his brother, once a hindrance, now fights alongside him. Next week, Sky faces an official game, surprising the hero who doubts its usefulness. He told him to relax. Next opponent, Barangures win, and he'll get 5 straight victories. Suru said after this, the scoring changes. Winning first boosts his faction as power, and Sky is the foundation. They faced off, exchanging tense glares. The brunette hesitated, eyes shut. He set down his books, valued his brother's intellect, but disagreed and was ready to discuss. He pointed at himself, grinning that his win ruins the plan. The other guy barely contained his rage. He smirked, claiming his cunning magic made victory impossible. His brother's orders were absolute. Walking off, the boy told Sky to lose like a cowardly wizard. Hero reeled, shocked Sarah made forbidden magic weapons. Father broke his promise about school. Brother scorned him as a man for it. Hero lived peacefully, but now everything has changed. Grinning, Sky launched into his favorite game. He wants to publicly defeat Baranga and utterly humiliate the faction S-Rep. Grabbing the books, he realized he had to prep for next week's game, but he couldn't have mastered the 7 colorless demons in time. Embarrassed at first, his face lit up as a sudden idea struck him. He needs to reach Aisha at the Magic Academy's girls' dorm. Inside the wing, stairs lead up. The girls creep forward. The student is writing when a sudden knock breaks her focus. The girl opened the door, finding Sky on the threshold. Blonde screamed in surprise. A thought hit her. She recalled his gaze at her in the crowd mid-fight. She understood his feelings, certain that is why he approached. She isn't ready yet, but he turns to her with something important to say. Mid-talk, Raimi already pictured Sky on his knees confessing his feelings. She blushed as girls in the hall stared in awe, asking if he'd really confess in front of everyone. He asked to enter and talk details. She hesitates, then excitedly lets him in. He stepped in and cut straight to the chase. The girl stood close, blushing, her eyes locked with his, awaiting his word. Sky asked him to train light magic. Silence fell. Everything froze. Shocked, she asked again. He repeated it, then feared her refusal. He dropped to his knees, begging. Emotions flickered in his head like code. Silence grips the campus. She to teach him. Girl snapped, warning him act strange again. She dies. He didn't get it. Sword drawn, she called him to the platform, but first gave one last warning. She called her training tough. He just pulled up his gloves, ready, saying he was used to it. Heroes face 7 colorless demons in the field. She pondered. She asked the boy if he came to her for magic. He said yeah. He didn't grasp the book's nuances, clueless about its limits or consequences. Sky thinks Rem is the ultimate mage, so she happily starts teaching him her light magic combat style. She pushed to start. Closing her eyes, she dove into her inner world. She enters a special state, casting spells as mystery and power swirl around her. Energy fills her, her confidence soaring each minute. Everything was ready. She could hit light speed instantly, shocking the boy who thought flight was impossible. Cast the spell and launch fast. Donda hesitate, or you'll look like a rookie mage. Remy looked around, claiming they could fly anywhere in sight. She explained, move anywhere, but if you can see the spot, it fails. Sky understood. He believed anyone could fly through the cosmos, but she said everyone felt the same. She begged him to keep it secret, and he nodded. Light speed travel costs only 100 mana. That is its only perk. Distance doesn't change the mana cost, so Sky knew it worked best at long range. He's talented, but something's clearly wrong. Spell uses same mana regardless of distance, but its body effect strengthens the further it's cast. He asked again, his voice heavy with weight. He explains the 3 reactions: dizziness, nausea, and headaches. Short distances are harmless, but long ones hit hard, making Sky wonder if she's affected too. She realized her usual fight range was only 50 meters. This distance feels normal. My unity returns. But at 100 meters, I get nauseous. At 200, my head throbs and vision blurs. She fights close with magic, every second count. She warned the boy stay within 50 meters. He knew 100 meters risked even her. He stayed silent, so she resumed her magic. Sky watched closely, waiting for a magic weapon buff. Remy paused. She stopped, then loomed over him like a storm. Panic set in. What was happening? Nervous how'd he guessed she was casting spells, Sky lipped down. He explained the magic squeaks, a classic sign of amplification. Blondie's late. What's that squeaking? Is he messing with me? She stopped. Her eyes questioned him, demanding answers. They exchanged a silent stare. Hero explained his theory. Squeaks and flashes that his cool magic girl angrily thought he mocked her, but he genuinely didn't get her irritation. She asked if he could guess her magic as she started casting. He found it strange. Wasn't that normal? Rem met Raft again? That's impossible. Sky was stunned. She pressed a palm to her forehead, using the classic trick to predict his magic. Monsters follow predictable patterns, but humans are far more complex. Stronger fighters never repeat the same spell sequence. Her unpredictable moves leave all mages, from novices to masters, equally helpless. The brunette pondered. He asked if she liked it, but he could understand everything from her behavior. He also added that his teacher could read such things. The girl sharply exclaimed that it was just an exceptional situation. Both were exhausted as Sky started thinking. Everyone fights, blind to their opponent's magic. But what happens when they pinpoint its transformation speed? Memories flash by, and suddenly it all clicked. Magic transformation speed is public knowledge. This is suspicious. He uses simple spells, pretending they are complex. Remy crossed her arms, dryly replying, "That's exactly how we build tactic." He asked if she'd be shocked if his magic was actually weak. She thought he was joking, but he wasn't. What if he convinces you this spell is far more advanced? She shouted, refusing to let the Sky mock her. In a match, she'd lose, but in a real fight. This is death. Her words made him pale. Cold sweat rolled down his cheek. Silence fell as they faced off in the field. The magician stared at his feet. Nothing had changed. Hero looked up. A bird soared under the bright sun. This world's common sense baffled him. If he falls for the double move, it's game over. The brunette smirked. He glowed with impatience as she watched, fascinated. He was ready for the next light magic technique. Meanwhile, on the territory of the Manga Academy, Tim was sitting on a leather sofa with his legs and arms crossed, frowning. He lost at 10 and again recently, both times crushed by insane magic despite being a total genius. Panic gripped Sky Vincent. Grinning, he feared Sky's genius and tricky magic would beat him. Settling on the sofa, he said, "Tomorrow's fight will be tough." Her eyes sparked with an idea as we crushed Isha's mysterious magic. He knew he'd lose all magic and items after this. Victory was nearly theirs. He wondered how Sky would handle it. He laughed ominously, hands raised. He wanted to humiliate him in front of everyone. Then a knock at the door called for the master. In the luxurious room of Brongi, they apologized for the inconvenience and informed that they had brought a guest. He faced the boy sprawled on the floor. They asked what he'd to say to Mr. Berenzi. The owner recognized the newcomer, Aaron, who he'd recently lent money. He sat down next to him and apologized for pulling him so roughly. With a twisted smile, he asked about the gaming hall. He promised Bereng a win, but the kid was sweating and terrified. Aaron dropped to his knees, bowing to the master to apologize. He was certain he'd win. He started on a winning streak, but eventually lost everything. Lace put his hands on the boy's shoulders and said he had taken a beating. He stared him down, then furiously demanded, did he think Baranga would say that? He beat him hard, slamming his face to the floor, insulting him. He lost his money. He demanded his money back right now. He stepped out, eyed Baranga, and asked what he needed. Grabbing him by the hair, he asked if he'd tell the student council and teachers. He vowed to repay the debt, and Barangalasi didn't care how. He lands another blow and walks away as his friends jeer. His friend hands Aaron a handkerchief, revealing a way to get the money back. A whisper urged the limping boy to win the game and clear his debt. Supporters helped him up, saw him out, and suggested a discussion. Shocked, a follower asked how Aaron became a slave so fast. The leader snapped he couldn't attract everyone, but he had a plan to crush the celestial 5 solo wins and 6 more using that worthless slave. Keep thinking 11 wins in 12 weeks will easily make them the top leaders. Champion Aretha and undefeated Tengadarai are slacking off, so it's time to use these slaves to rack up more wins. I was shocked to see they had no direct enemies. Even 25th ranked Rem with 0 wins is a beast, so use her without hesitation. Except for this guy, Baranga stood with Sky, blonde, tall, cunning, eager for tomorrow's fight. Tomorrow, the stands fill with familiar faces. Rim, Fulman, President, Suru, Baranga's attendants, and their new arena fighter. Skytot and Ram gather in the stone slab hall, but Tartan missed his ticket. He scanned the crowd, searching every face. The host called the hero to the stage. He grabbed his weapon, a ring gleaming on his right index finger. Hero steps on stage, revealing the seven-colored Listamon's magic for the first time. During the last training session, Ramai gifted the hero her sword, saying that it suited his fighting style well. She told him he had to win. Surprised, he let out a small smile. Sky grabbed his sword for the duel. Back to the fight. Duelists face off on stage, ready to duel as crowds fill the stands. Baranga smiles, surprised his opponent didn't run sky counters, surprised Baranga wasn't scared, then mocks his strange hair. The blonde hated the answer but wanted his foe to stay brave. His brother urged him to quit, but there was no easy escape. He gloated, declaring the disgrace permanent and he to publicly win. The calm brunette just teased more. He was asked to step aside. He barked a command, and Piero instantly appeared, battle-ready. The light-haired opponent called Piero worthless, worthy only of a coward, then challenged his friend. A water dragon emerged. Host checked, participants were ready. The duelists locked eyes, ready for battle, as the fight began. Sky focused, eyes shut. Seven colorless demons' magic surged. He felt it instantly. Magic speed hits 200 as he snatches his weapon. With a trick, he broke the mastery, eyes flashing as he rapidly wove spells. Light magic and weapon buffs cost 400. 7 demonic spells double that, but a 200 conversion halves it. After mana compensation, 599 remains. Perfect. The 7 colorless demons' magic works flawlessly, and Tartan wasn't kidding. The 7 colorless demons control fire, water, earth, air, light, and dark. Activating this power unlocks 700 types of magic. He stressed it again. Tartan wasn't joking. The 7 colorless demons have a unique trait. Magic won't work normally. He recalled his fire magic of fireball summons. In 1 second, costs 15 power, average potency, it burns enemies. Fireballs want to ignite against the 7 colorless demons. Active magic, their nature differs. Sky saw the Tartan and realized she was just copying magic from the 7 colorless demons. Tartan raised a finger for one final detail. Magical doubles enraged Sky. He warned Piero. This forbidden magic is unacceptable for a hero. They keep talking, but if Sky runs out of mana, the spell fails, simple as that. He realized those 700 techniques were shifting, but his drained mana forced strict limits. He asked about the prep level Tartan questioned. Then it clicked. His mentor mentioned it while teaching this magic. Done explaining, he told them to live simply but never skimp on gear. Tartan finished his story. Sky was taken aback, sighed, realizing he'd prepare from scratch, but the hero believed it could be managed. Lazily scratching himself, the clown said everything was fine. He maxed all magic to 100 for just 1 minute. Hero wondered what is next. Familiar just smiled. Guy didn't get it. Magic hits level 100 in a minute. He'll instantly snatch those 100 points. He laughed, asking if everything was on track, but Sky walked away in silence. He asked what level minus 100 magic does. The clown didn't know and dared him to try it. Gulping, the boy agreed, perfect. Seconds into the fight, Sky lunges at his opponent with a powerful swing. Walking the arena, he kept calm. Crowds watched him from the stands. Remy sees her friend use 7 colorless demons. Magic, the sword glows, but Sky's turns transparent. The bowl-cut blonde grinned at the enemy as strange magic surged. He raised his trident and cast a spell. He aimed at Vincent and told him he'd already lost. Baranga unleashed a swift water wave, launching the charging Sky airborne. But poised, he stopped and took a confident stance. The boy was shocked. One attack, game over, the opponent as foolishness baffled him. But the hero had just 48 seconds. He had to act fast. Blonde leveraged his partner as power, a water dragon with bottomless eyes. An insurmountable weight crushed the hero and his legs buckled. Water stirred around him. Baranga bared his teeth, declaring it was already over. His water dragon is a lethal spirit only the strongest can wield, controlling all water within 50 meters. Rain strengthened. Once Sky's clothes soaked, it'd be over. Drops around his neck thickened, squeezing him tighter. Sky fell to his knees. The blonde smiled. This was Sky SN. The brunette, bearing, burned with pain. No escape, he had to change tactics. He burns 500 power on mid-tier body buffs, leaving only 99. but his enemy claims it's all useless. Hero sprinted, ready for the decisive step. Water bound his legs, trapping him instantly. He cursed as his earlier protection failed. The sword owner, watching from the stands, thought this was a tough fight for Sky. Baranga is pure garbage. His magic returns and he's strong, but the power gap between these two is massive. The girls cheered for the blonde, making Remy's blood boil. The crowd roared his name, Borana, Borana. He savored the win, eyes shut, as the president and Remy fumed nearby. Sky sat down, thinking hard. He gripped his sword tight. Almost there, only 99 strength units left. Power spent, the hero bowed, mockingly asking if the sky wanted to flee its misery. He mocked him with a wild look, claiming he'd fail, but the hero refused to quit. The barrier hadn't hit 10,000 yet. The game wasn't over. He gripped his weapon tighter. Scoreboard flashed 19,726. The enemy laughed, urging suffering, but 5 seconds remained, and he'd use them on that loser sorcerer. The countdown starts. 4 Rems terrified, 3 Fullmen snapping. 2, the president watches closely. He yells for Sky to stay calm, but he's got a secret plan. He raised his sword, smiling. His power surged back. He channeled new light magic and strength to burst forward. He dashed across the arena, appearing behind the blonde. Raising his weapon, he shouted his name. With a mad smile, he ordered him to be more careful and talk less. Next time, Baranga barely turned to look at him. The sword was stuck deep as snot and spit leaked from the boy's face. Defeated, he plummets. Weapon and defense skills hit 100, doubling his magic power as the girls of Sky cheered from the stands. 16,866 dead relief fills the sky. His eyes glint, the perfect moment. Host declared fight over Perengilius barrier dropped under 10,000. Sky Vincent won. The exhausted winner limped off stage. His brother glared after him. Clouds drift peacefully as a brunette trudges ahead, whining about the weight. Without the magical weapon, he'd struggle. He's exhausted and just wants to rush home and sleep. Suddenly, a familiar figure shouted from behind. The defeated duelist branded Sky a fraud, accusing him of forbidden magic. Sky calmly looked back. He admitted it, but it's too late. His enemy isn't buying it without that move. He would V1. He pointed his trident at Brunetta's back, dismissing him as a pathetic wizard unable to use such magic. He screamed, in a real fight, no one would help, but his water dragon had him, winning. Baranga saw Sky as a commoner, nobody who should shut up and stop bothering real aristocrat. The brunette replied he broke school rules. Summoning familiars here was forbidden, but he didn't care. He urged them to continue, calling the winner a cowardly wizard. The boy sighed, he warned him. Sky, using student council authority, seized the lost Barango and aimed his gun at the blondie. Stunned, the opponent looked up, calling this a real fight with Barango. He fired a massive energy beam. Beaten again, he collapses to the ground. Sky's exhaustion hit. His strength vanished again. He limped toward the dorms, desperate to reach campus. A lively square, tomorrow, stalls and shops will fill it. She yanked him forward to speed him up, but he only cared about returning the katana. They walk through the store, hands clasped. The hero doesn't get how this happened. After battle with Barong, the hero returned the sword to its owner. He owed his victory to the girl. She was pleased. Sky gave her a flower, a grateful gesture to make her happy. He stared in confused excitement as she flashed the grin she'd been holding for years. Remy pressed if the flower was for him, but he awkwardly replied he couldn't think of anything else. He didn't know what she liked. She still accepted his gift. She shot him a flirtatious look, teasing that she wanted more. He tensed the girl, then told Sky she wanted ice cream again, asking him to buy it. He dug for cash and told her to wait, but she snatched his collar and yanked him close. She looked him in the eyes angrily. Does he want death? The girl just threatened him. She looks like she can afford ice cream. He's a fool. She asked him to invite her to go. Rem blushed, her eyes giving her away. The boy claimed he hated sweets, but his friends snapped, and they went together anyway. They hit the capital's busy streets and ducked into a boutique. She tried on outfits first, then forced him to do the same. She tried on the earrings. She was incredible. Glowing from within, Sky watched in awe. They entered a perfume shop to find scents. We hung out and talked as clouds drifted over the rooftops. She finally picked the ice cream shop. His emotions erupted. He'd waited for this. Remy glared. She snapped, asking if he enjoyed the capital, but his answer was vague. The heroes continued, And the boy spoke. Many men would love to date her and cover all expenses. Why wouldn't she walk with them? His words angered the blonde. She screamed in his face that he was a clueless fool as he clutched his head. He pointed to the sign telling the girl this was the right ice cream store. A bell rings on entry. They went inside. Sky asked her wish, she thought. She shouts a bizarre name, the Snow White Beliandra Zubalimica Centuria ice cream. The boy is stunned, so she suggests they each order half and share it. The Strawberry Deluxe Phoenix Black ice cream waited. They sat and dug in. The mood was cozy and cheerful. He admitted the ice cream was tasteless, claiming a warning would have been boring, but his girlfriend was clearly annoyed. Too late, friend spooned Sky's ice cream. She checked it, instantly blushing and looking away. Whoa, confused, he asked if he was right. Eyes closed, she reached for the next reward, already claiming it. The white Beliandra Zubalimic Centuria is better. Sky watched her lovingly as she savored the ice cream. Exhausted from walking all day, she'd gladly eat his portion. The young man enjoyed Rema's company. She offered him a spoon, wanting to feed him like a baby. Their ice cream cups already empty, but the heroes didn't move, just watching the noisy city through the window. So many people, it is the kingdom. Its capital. The girl noted Isterberry's center was wonderful. The boy added, Remy knows the city well. She wants to experience this bustling city. Pros and cons. He asked what pros. She pondered. He picked this ice cream shop, knowing the endless sweets were a major win. He listened to her listing downsides, but something distracted him. Stunned by the sudden chaos, he saw the city as dark side as every resident stared in disbelief. She claims this happens all the time, leaving him stunned. A robbery in broad daylight. Sipping her tea, the girl claimed this was normal for the capital, but Sky was already on his feet. His eyes burned with resolve. He yelled he to help, and the girl jumped in surprise. This is serious, backup is almost here. Sky wouldn't stand aside. He bolted into the epicenter as the girl watched, spellbound. He's kind to her as he sprints through the crowd. He followed the criminals, seeing about 10 robbers. They're nearly finished. These pros have total control as one woman loads the loot into a cart. Then the boy found something else. They've got a hostage. One man pins the girl's arms back, holding a knife to her throat. Attacking a casino takes guts. The Baranga family owns it, and they were no saints. Targeting the casino meant they were experienced. Casinos always have several mage guards, and the Rez family casino boasted the best security. Sky scanned the area, gripping his weapon tight. They glance at a gang member, light-haired, with sunken cheeks and a wolf tattoo on his shoulder. He dropped the holster, despairing. He couldn't make the shot. Remy asked where he was going. He took charge of the robbers, ordering his girlfriend to protect the hostage once they're free. Heroes glanced, embarrassed. The girl asked, why's he helping them? Forget gratitude, he didn't want to look like a magician. By moving fast and silent, Rem wouldn't even realize his plan after the rescue. He smirked, planning to fuse the 7 colorless demons' magic into weapons, while his friend watched, captivated. Sensing her doubt, he promised answers later. Right now, saving the hostage was the priority, and the blonde understood. She stared him down and asked if she could trust him. He said yes, and he meant it. The boy bid farewell, and the heroes split as he rushed into the heart of the action. Fighting Baranga, the hero S7 demon magic varied effects by application, so he'll try new spell combos. Sky stood frozen in the center of the bustling square, holding his breath as the crowd rushed past. The casino is located 500 meters away. He couldn't smell the robbers even here, so he wouldn't feel the magical power from that distance either. He gripped dual pistols tight. He unleashes his perfected combo, activating the magic of the 7 colorless demons. He cast Hawk's Eye in a second. It cost 100 mana, but 7 colorless demons spiked the price by 200 more, bringing the city into sharp focus. He spotted the same robbers again. Only 12 perfect. He fired both pistols. Less energy. Magic means easier control. 12 magic spheres cost just 12 power. He glared menacingly at someone. His Class A magic ripped through the Capitol Square crowd like a whirlpool, engulfing everyone. She instantly wiped out the robbers with a massive crash. Instantly, the gang's bodies littered the cobblestone street. Sky flashed a satisfied grin. A crowd swarms the casino entrance, buzzing with rumors as our hero arrives. Uniformed man drags the guilty, the Sky watches. Suddenly, everything clicked. The hostage turned, relief flooding him as the girl hugged him, asking if he was all right. The boy was proud of their success. He called out, She turned, and his thanks made her blush. He explained criminals could vanish, ruining his plan. He only succeeded thanks to a girl. She denied it, claiming she did nothing. The couple watched the bandits file past, realizing they'd actually pulled off the heist. The police officer with the convoy couldn't tell who helped. Sky closed his eyes, paused, and sighed. No more worries. Everything was resolved safely. He asked what is next to get home. She confirmed her tiredness. He agreed. Then clattering hooves announced a voice apologizing for the disturbance, leaving the boy surprised. The rider in shining armor addressed the heroes. They traded looks. One crisis ended, but another had already begun. The girl asked to talk, dismounting and approaching the heroes. She introduced herself as Genadora, Nasha's night captain, and demanded a meeting. Rem asked what happened. She apologized for interrupting the hero, but the blonde brushed it off since she was a knight. Sky stared, surprised. Knight. Her friend whispered, "Knights are the world's ultimate elite. Only top magical academy graduates earn this rank. They're always in the action, patrolling the city and solving every problem. Retiring earns you a title or land, making you a god to the students." After her explanation, it all clicked, and he relaxed with his hands behind his head. He asked if she was going home. Rem elbowed him, hinting he needed interest. The knight watched. She then explained she rushed to the scene after learning of the robbers. She wanted to learn MP operations. The question seemed resolved, but the captain pondered. Cops grill an injured survivor while locals whisper about the takeover. As criminals are hauled to prison, our heroes watch from the sidelines. "Wonderful," Jane said, calling the boys over as they stared in shock. She explained long-tracked robbers attacked the casino, neutralized and simultaneously eliminated. Intriguing, Sky, but worrying. Rem of Jane's pleased heroes do this without attracting unnecessary attention. The face of the Sky John couldn't impossible for a city mage. She called it top-tier work by two young students. The girl wasn't the main star. Pointing skyward, the young man stood proud and stared ahead, lost in thought. Janadora questioned his magic. Could it be replicated? The blonde began to speak, but the Gaius gesture silenced her. She listened. He pushed her back. She apologized. Sky cut her off. No more talk. He and Ram had to go. Jane, eyes closed, agreed. She added she wanted to reward them, and the boy stopped, thinking, money or pride. Sky weighed the cost. The guys returned to the night, accepted her tempting offer. Her choice pleased her. She said she would ask for a reward for them and asked to wait a little, but to keep them from getting bored during the wait, she promised to tell a bit about the Slains, who these robbers actually turned out to be. Slaney, bandits on the capital S streets, claim justice but are just criminal. The boy pressed, interested, how it related to justice. Everything went down at the obscure Res Casino, where they hunt scammers and greedy exploiters. They use the loot to expand their gang. But one thing is terrifying: the legend of the Night Stopper. She reveals the victim's boss was a former Barrows guard, her predecessor, and the greatest of all time. The heroes locked eyes. Sky was focused, but Remy looked shaken. He sighed and confessed. Seeing her struggle, he stopped the questions. Jane warned him if they meet, he'll lose. She warned he'd die before he could even think. The Sky went silent. Stepping away from the girls and waving, he was about to continue. His girlfriend started to follow when he stopped. He forgot his award. Next day at Sky Academy, she felt confused. What caused their strange tension? Suddenly, she invites him to dinner. He was so nervous, sweat beaded on his cheeks. Now they're alone with the president. The girl in the elegant dress said that Sky had done so much for her that she always thought she would never be able to repay him fully. She told him to eat well. Rimy was fun, but Sky seemed more interesting. He gulped, agreed, and dug in. He eagerly tried the dish, delicious. He devoured it, but the girl warned him not to rush. She leaned in close, wiping a drop from his lips with a handkerchief. The closeness startled him. She smiled sweetly, making him feel awkward as he thanked her with a shaky voice. She warned him his brother Suru lost his charming weapon in the tournament, but he's nearly finished training. The hero brushed off the circumstances. He ate heartily, savoring every spoonful. She rarely attacks full force, so he wanted to recover quickly. A little information is enough and their faction will collapse. Something happened to Freud. She respected him for taking down Berengu. The fight changed opinions, which she believes is vital since others' thoughts matter. She wanted him to run for student council president, her wish. The brunette disliked it and bit into his food. A smile lit her bang-frame face. She knew he'd say it, meeting his gaze. The undeserving always chase power, while the deserving remain indifferent. She thought of her student council role. Is the world truly like that? She stared wide-eyed and laughed. Sky tried to ask, but she dropped her fork and shut him down, shifting the focus back to him. She asked if he knew Genadora, the student council president destined to become a knight. She explained their constant link. The heroes traded looks as Sky prepared to speak. He knows Genadora. The hero found Remy's story fun, then asked again, picturing his blonde friend vividly recounting the emotional details. President told Jen about the casino attack. She reported a student at the crime scene instantly neutralized all bandits, even with a hostage. She said this isn't a one-person job, but she'd seen his magic, so she understood why. The hero stared at her and asked if she wanted him to tell Adora about his magic. The president met his gaze. She refused, stunning him with a faint smile. She propped up and declared Sky was only her. Stunned by the news, the boy was left speechless. She reminded him she's still on the council, so he asked to team up after graduation. She confirmed her big plans. The boy stared wide-eyed. They locked eyes. The young man realized it was serious and smiled faintly. He wondered what the head dreams. She lowered her head, closed her eyes, smiled, calm and relaxed. She wants world peace. Boy wanted to ask, but she considered telling Genador he might be useful. A knight is tasked. She needs his power for her plans, Sky processed. She promised to prepare him for everything. Not wanting his hate, silence returned. But the tension vanished as the hero smiled and closed his eyes. He finally saw why Rem was so obsessed. The brunette rose, again thanking the chairman. She quickly followed. The heroes agreed he'd back her up. Under a hazy, barely visible full moon, an insider reports to the boss from a private estate. The Rez family's capital casino was attacked. A stranger stopped him inches from victory. All 12 attackers were caught. Instead of toasting his friend, the bandit smashed his bottle in rage, glass flying everywhere. The shoulder-padded ex-knight captain, now leading slain bandits, demanded an explanation. The worker continued. Nearby staff said the hostages were freed and Genador arrived. Remembering the girl, his emotions boiled over. Frowning, he waited for the next move. The boy confirmed no one died, so the investigation will expose their base, Briro shouted. He leaped up, shouting, demanding the casualty count, and if a battle had begun. He insulted his crew and named the journalist Kunshi had to relocate the HQ fast, knowing exactly what his boss demanded. Sitting back down, he grabbed the paper and turned to Kanento. What's your take? But Kanento had no answer. The ex-knight, a master tactician, doubted Genadora was behind this. If she did this, things get interesting. Betrayal, hard to betray him. He had a blood oath. Resting his chin, the advisor again called it a coincidence. It's logical to assume it happened, no informants, no leaks, and the knights arrived perfectly. Someone accidentally stopped the attack. So Baras's allies think it was just a fluke. He couldn't afford that thought. He'd picked 12 experienced wizards himself. The assistant suggested it again. The leader couldn't wait to find out. The ex-royal knight mumbled through his teeth. The light-haired man realized he's a higher school of magic student. The chief frowned and kept listening, sensing a hidden motive. The kingdom flourishes and some children are born with monstrous strength. Braros leaned back, arms crossed, asking if he remembered hunting bandits as students. Knenko smiled. He said they had crushed amateur groups, but warned the council president and his deputy were seriously skilled. Boss called Kunshi good, but his friend scoffed Kunshi wasn't enough. He prepped for a month and blew a fortune on intel, but now he doubts they can hit the royals with the gang going broke. The blonde again pushed for a target to solve gang problems. Braros pondered, then slyly smirked, revealing he already knew who. The heroes traded looks. The advisor wondered about the leader's plan, hinting the man was only talking about himself. Noble kids study at the School of Magic. A former knight captain eagerly discovers how much wealthy parents will pay for their kids' safety. A magic student stands by the wall, eyeing nearby tables. The boy stands proud, says he finally found her, then asks them to wait. The student fights the wall, dreaming of his next encounter. He vaults the wall, but a white-haired man in a black cloak is already waiting. Student looks up, sees Kento frozen with fear. He stares. Kento grumbles. Who's making that noise? He reaches for the frightened child. Kiantis glares at the student, says night escapes break school rules, then blasts him with magic. 2 days later, the council head reported Rinhie's message table already by the southwest wall yesterday morning. The head sits at a table opposite Rem and Sky. She reveals by lunchtime only Thurston from Class 1 was by the wall. 2 days pass, no one knows where he is. Sky, arms crossed, disagrees. Thurston. Hero says Tarotin won't risk his grades unless it's extreme, but the head insists this was the exception. Silence fills the halls, the heroes lock eyes. Sky reveals students spotted Tarotin lookalikes in the capital. A boy on the street flashes a photo to passersby. Sky reveals everyone who saw it claimed they'd seen Tarotin. The student turns away. Sky says he vanished the second he found out. The hero reveals Taratona was torn from his parents as a kid. The head stays silent. Sky says the boy's desperate to see his parents, but the head claims Tyrone won't return. Clutching her shoulder, the girl begs Sky and Rima to find him fast. The head confronts the heroes gravely. Sensing something is amiss, Sky and Ram watch the girl curiously. The leader grabs a crystal ball, demanding the kid's location before raising it to track them down. She stares at the ball in shock as RM watches from above. Certain Tarotan is hiding in the capital. Sky doubts the info, but Ram boasts the head's predictions are spot on, pointing to the glass ball as the head's personal item. A glass sphere holds a fox-like spirit beast. The head reveals it's no mere wand, but a powerful vessel. Sky eyes the ball, doubting they exist. The leader stands, ordering them to find Tarotin. Sky and Rem are ready. Heroes hit the royal city. Ram checks the map, a cross marking the chief's predicted spot. Sky calls her over. They peek around the corner, and the hero realizes the fortune teller was right. He spots a house. Ram spots the alcohol sign, asks if the beer is popular. Sky says it seems so. Sky doubts the fortune, making Ram snap. She threatens to tell the chief, forcing Sky to beg for mercy. They peek around the corner as Ram tells him to look. As they survey the area, REM asks Sky if he knows this is a working-class neighborhood, then tells him to watch the woman sewing across from the tavern. A girl sews a dress, but Rem warns it one to sell here. Rem notices her powerful legs, odd for someone so inactive, then spots a scar on her neck. Rem claims this body isn't a farmer's. Sky awkwardly raises his hand, about to speak, as Reminer Rupson says wizards instantly recognize combat experience. Sky asks Ray if she knows how cool she is, and she proudly tosses her hair back. The girl realizes the woman is guarding the tavern to report any suspicious visitors. Sky looks at her seriously and says he understands everything. Hero returns to Rome, says something is hidden in the tavern. The girl smiles, replies he is right. Sky senses Taroton's in trouble as a smiling boy appears. They must act fast, so he asks Rem how to get inside. Heroes exchange glances. Sky declares they were no ordinary visitors. Rem sighs. Nothing can be done. She boldly suggests doing it, but Sky senses trouble and asks what she means. Heroes burst into the tavern. A sewing woman glances up, surprised. Rem yells at Sky another glass. The red-faced heroes stagger, leaning on each other. Sky calls Rem, who holds up a bottle, offering more. The heroes hit the tavern. Rem asks if it's wonderful, and Sky totally agrees. The woman looks at the hero with distrust. She is clearly annoyed. Sky says that the woman is just drilling them with her gaze, and Rem replies that it's nothing serious, that's how people usually look at those they don't align. The girl snaps at the woman to stop staring. Sky cuts in. Look at the one not drinking. Heroes enter the tavern. Ramen and Sky wait at a table. The young man thinks everything went as planned. Sky scans the tavern. He spots just 4 guests in the hall as a waitress approaches for their order. Ram loudly demands the cheapest. Sky assures the waitress money. It's no issue. The waitress confirms it is handled and leaves. Sky sighs with relief. Rem eyes the girl suspiciously, stating she's no ordinary waitress. She looks around, realizing these visitors aren't here for drinks. Their magic is impossible to ignore. Sky face palms, asking Rama if he has seen the sketchy waitress too. Rama crosses his arms, telling the newcomer to quiet down. Sky nod. Boy asks girl where Tarotin is. He glances at the door near the barrels, guessing Tarotin is inside. Rem stares skyward and refuses, explaining these taverns definitely stock alcohol. They eye the empty room. Rem says it is too small for a popular tavern, explaining they don't a profit from alcohol sales, it's just a cover. Sky explains Tarotin's isolation, but the girl claims he's blameless. Ram imagines 2 men dragging a guy away. Fed lies from the start, searching for his parents made him a target. She looks him in the eye and confirms their theory is spot on. Rem says Tarotin is broke. These guys are too serious for him alone. The girl tries to calmly explain, but Sky cuts her off. Was he involved? She claims he saw something forbidden. Sky stares back intensely. The waitress walks up and rates them 95 perfect. The heroes look up to find the tavern crowd has them surrounded. Ram and Sky watch tensely. The waitress calls Ram smart, but heroes are easy to spot, and the guard instantly reports to them. Sky whispers to Ram, the waitress is a bounty hunter, making the girl glare. She confidently tells the visitors, even the greatest make mistakes. Sky smirks. The hero rages he did nothing wrong, insisting it wasn't so bad. Sky calls Rem smart but bored, so she demands a proper compliment. Sky bangs the table, saying she already brought him this far. He stands to start cleaning, and she coldly agrees. Waitress isn't so sure, Rem calmly agrees. Then the woman gets angry. The waitress calls the guests, swearing they aren't the villains. The crowd draws near as she warns the heroes to behave. Sky looks serious, facing the waitress and a man with card. The Sky beams. Claiming they'll lose, he draws dual pistols. The hero fires as the waitress steps aside, declaring negotiations failed. Hero casts magic and smirk. Gunshots erupt. The waitress freezes in horror as Ram sits calmly, eyes closed. Clients sprawl on the floor. The waitress steps aside, but Ram stays seated. Girl smiles as waitress screams in surprise. Baffled by what happened, Sky stands by the woman, ready to cast a spell, reminding her he warned they'd lose. Sky asks for Turretin, but Rem warns he's always faster than you'd think. Standing over the downed patrons, Sky demands Taroton's location from the waitress. The three intensely eye each other. The waitress smiles, assuring him he's safe, and Taroton isn't the target. She leads them through a secret floor hatch and down into the basement. Everyone gathers in the basement. Ram and Sky flank the waitress as Ram spots a tattoo on her neck. The girl asks her about the tattoo. She replies that the tattoo is very similar to the one that belonged to the infamous murdered gang. Rem asks the waitress about Tartan and the gangsters. After a tense silence, she admits the girl is smart. She smiles, asking if it's too late to notice the tattoo. Rem asks why, but the waitress just gives a faint smirk. She smirks, revealing the plan is already in motion as the heroes stare in shock. Ram and Sky lock eyes. They follow her deeper as Rem demands the plan. Opening a door, the waitress says they'll see for themselves as they step inside. Hero finds Taroton bound and motionless. He shouts, sits down, and starts untying him. Sky asks if he's okay, touching his cheek while waiting for a response. Taroton smiles, eyes shut, blows a nose bubble. Ram and Sky recoil from him. A sharp scream from above jolts him awake. Terrified, he scans the horizon and yells in shock. Tartan thanks the heroes and rushes to find his parents. He bolts, shouting farewell to the hero. Ram and Sky stand, utterly confused. A man asks the girl to go with him, but she replies they already freed him. Sky threatens to tell the boss, but the girl cuts her off. He wants to be angry. Suddenly, the heroes hear a noise nearby and turn around in fear. At that moment, the headhunter reminds them that they were so caught up in their argument that they completely forgot about him. Ram and Sky spot a monster head sprouting from the waitress's shoulder. She claims the slain were justice bandits. Their leader, Breros, believed the corrupted world needed fixing. She grins as her monster screams, mocking the hero's ideology, before unleashing Ogafreen fire magic, spending 500 mana for 1,200 attack power. Sky eyes the hunter, raising her weapon. The woman smiles and says it's already too late. Huntress screams the spell is done. Nothing stops the monster. The fire monster roars, charging the heroes. Sky aims pistols. Rem gets behind to cover. Rem snaps. It's a misunderstanding and blasts the monster into thin air. Fear grips the hunter's face. Sky points pistols at him. Fiery Sky. Hunter dashes into boxes. Hunter shoots and drops. Sky and Ram watch woman by the wall. Sky declares it is ready. Leaving the basement, the heroes walked right into the city guard. Sky raised his weapon, confusedly demanding answers. Rim grabbed her katana, yelling she didn't know either. Heroes and guards faced off, battle ready. Jaina Dora entered, ordering weapons down as guards cleared a path to the heroes. The captain spotted the heroes again. Sky recognized her as she guessed they found shelter first, and Rem confirmed it. Sky eyes Rama claims their goal differed. Jane eyes the heroes. Guards search the tavern, and the heroes attackers. Jane understands everything. A woman asks Rima who's down there. She reports one woman out cold and another kidnapped student. Jane suspects Bravo arranged everything again. The woman closes her eyes. Much work remains. Suddenly, a guard bursts in calling for the captain. He rushes to Jane with an urgent message from HQ. She asks what it says. The guard nervously whispers to her. Sky eyes him suspiciously. The hero turns to Rima, knowing trouble looms if they don't leave now. He tells the captain they were already going. Enraged, Jane hears the guard. Furious news hits the captain. Her back turned, she demands their destination. Sky says he and Rima are students and must return to the academy. Jane turns her head, pointless confused. Sky asks why. The captain turns and drops new intel. Jane reports the Slayers seized the magic school. Ram and Sky stare at the captain in horror. She reveals Princess Enfiana Shaw is captured and every student is a hostage. Sky finally understands the huntress's promise from the student room door. As Jane Chuckleson reports noble bandits targeted a magic school, the captain smiles slyly, thinking Boros sank low demanding ransom because he ran out of money. Jane laughed as Sky watched. Then Rem shouted, "Wait!" She excitedly asked what happened to the head. She said that Saren would never allow everyone to be taken hostage so easily. The captain looked at her and said that there were no details yet. She had just sent a message to everyone. Rem tried to object, but Sky caught her shoulder. He told anxious Ram to calm down, knowing the head wouldn't agree, with Regnia by her side. Sky explains things are different. The school has control, so the head won't risk it. Rem tells the boy it's true the dead were taken in droves, she adds, as the captain said, if for ransom they'd be safe. Sky grips Remy's shoulder, promising no one gets hurt while looking at him awkwardly. Sky asked Rima if it was true, she sadly confirmed. Sky smiled and gave a thumbs up, keeping his promise, but his head still wouldn't back down. Rem grabs Sky's collar and shakes him, demanding he stop talking like that, as the captain admires their friendship. Jane coughs, refocusing the heroes. She warns if the dead stay in school, it ends badly, but also offers a chance to destroy them. The captain agrees, wanting to crush Braros, but admits they need it. Jane asks the heroes for their abilities. Smiling mysteriously, she claims Sky and Ram aren't ordinary students, then asks if she is right. Jane confronts the heroes while Sky scowled. Arms crossed, the boy refused. Jane demanded. Sky says half the hostages are nobles and their parents will pay any ransom to save them. The boy cheers goal as Slunov tries to buy his way out. Jane scoffs, doubting money will make anyone surrender. Sky's leaving, saying their troubles don't concern him, or Ram, Jane thinks, agreeing the heroes are right, but the problem persists. Captain announces noble students get ransomed. What about commoners? Sky indifferently replies, they'll all be released too. Jane disagrees, certain it won't happen. Sky knows nobles will pay big for their kids. Since the princess is a hostage, the royals are forced to save the commoners too. He's certain they'll pay the ransom. Jane asks if he's serious, catching him off guard. The captain claims commoners are powerless and the slaves want a massive ransom. She knows the royals will refuse. She turns away and, glancing over her shoulder, asks the heroes to deal with the bandits so that ordinary students do not get hurt. Jane places her hand on the hilt of her sword. She warns that they need to act carefully to avoid injuring the students. Jane stares up, wondering if commoners find friends at the academy. He tenses. Remembering his friend, he hangs his head in shame. Jane asks Ram if she wants Sky fighting with her. Ram agrees with Sky if money fixes this. It's the best move. Like the captain warned, too many students are at risk. She raises her head, saying she dislikes this move. Rem confidently agrees, asking the boy to join her for ice cream. Girl glares defiantly at him. He scowls, knowing he can abandon her to danger. Sky turns away, as Shali orders the girl white ice cream. Rem beams at the hero, calling the treat Beliandria, Zubulimachus, and Centuria. The heroes look up to the sky in surprise. Sky and Rem join the guards at the magic school and spot a barrier. Rem asks what it is. Jane nervously bites her finger, identifying Kenento's barrier as more bad news. Then the captain examines it, covering her face as she realizes something. The captain demands silence, explaining the barrier was modified to keep the King's Knights out. Raising 3 fingers, she reveals 3 strict conditions. Jane lists conditions. First, total magic over 5,000, strong resistance under, weak. Second, age over 20, impossible to pass under, no resistance. Third, magic type fire strengthens, void weakens. 1976, Jane reveals, the barrier repels strong wizards but welcomes weak ones. Captain says a weak mage hostage makes strong defense. Jane questions the guards about the barrier while Ram and Sky eavesdrop. Sky stays tense, weighing the situation. Confident it won't affect him, The 16-year-old boy meets all criteria: void magic and 999 total damage. Sky is angry and considers himself the very wizard who is supposed to come. Rem raises his hands to calm the guy and prevent trouble. And then a student calls out to Sky from behind the barrier. Boy spots a student with a note. It's Ask clears the turnstile. Sky asks, "You okay?" The student approaches the boy, says he's okay. Early in the attack, several got injured, but everyone else stayed safe. Sky insists everything's fine and orders Oscar outside, but the student screams for him to stop. Ask stares at Sky and refuses to run, needing to deliver a message from the dead. He shows the note handed over instantly, on request, or slayers kill students. Sky smiles, they wouldn't dare. Jane steps between them, calling it a smart move. The captain asks for the request sheet. Surprised and embarrassed, Asuka hands it over. Jane gasps at the note, ditches the guys for the guards, and Sky eyes Asaka. Sky declares it helps students. The boy tells his friend to wait, and with a smile, his friend agrees. The student waves, trusting Sky's word before leaving. Rem and Sky watch Asuka bolt through the barrier as Sky's face turns grim. Sky gazes ahead, asks the captain about the note, and Jane gravely confirms the expected ransom. The woman insists they must await the king's order. Suddenly, a messenger summons the captain, revealing the royal order was already sent. Messenger hands scroll to Captain Rem and Sky watch tensely. Jane reads the order, breaking into a sweat. She turns away, declaring it's the king's command. The captain faces guards and heroes, declaring, in the royal family's name, knights destroy the slayers. Forget ceremonies. Move on. Guards and heroes listen in shock. A knight asks if it's true, but she confirms the royal seal makes the letter impossible to forge. Jane reports the royals are livid about the murder. The knight complains about the hostages, but the captain shuts him down. The captain invokes a royal order as the knights watch in terror. Jane draws her blade, ordering them to crush the obstacle. Captain raises his sword, commands knights once the barrier breaks, destroy all enemies, leave none alive. She calls warriors to save people from bandits. Knights roar a loud battle cry. Ray and Sky join the knights as they charge into battle. The boy fears the knights value themselves over the students. He prays they want to mess up, thinking of his friends and Nephrimia. Sky discovers her true parentage. The boy recalls the past and gets angry. The hero shouted for the captain to wait. Sky yells he has a plan, just needs time. Jane tells him to stop. Since the king's orders are met, Sky raises her hands, demanding a fight. He promises she'll still face Barros. He asks her for time. The captain glared and barked at the hero to stop. She tells him Sky follows her to destroy Kanento, promising obedient heroes save friends. But the guy confidently stands before Jane, refusing to go. The captain glares at the hero. Sky levels his weapon at Jane. The captain fights back his rage, demanding if he's serious. Sky stares him down with cold confidence. Jane smirked, drew her blade, and told them to let the heroes handle Kanento alone. She charged the hero, accepting his challenge. The frame appears. She blocks the captain's blow to save Sky, stunning the heroes as Rem screams for him to flee. Girl screams, she'll hold off the knights. Horrified, Sky screams her name, refusing to leave. Captain smiles, surprised. Rem grips Jean as katana, Sky's gun raised nearby. Girl shouts at boy to run, distracting guards. Boy stares at Rima, terrified. The hero forces a worried smile. Sky bolts, thanking the girl as she battles the captain. Hero thoughtfully approaches the obstacle Jane notices. 2020, the captain turns and says it's strange because the barrier was not supposed to let strong mages through. Here, the heroine's swords clash with each other. Captain and Ram face off. She insists Jane doesn't know Skibble. The woman predatorily smiles, scoffing. He's not that good. Ram just smiles, eyes closed. The girl lunges at the captain, swings her katana, and snaps that he's staring too hard. Sky hides behind the partition, needing a large room to watch the hostages. They're likely in the gym. Confident this is the school's best spot, he dashes to the window and vaults inside. Sky enters a tiled room, wondering if it's the kitchen, then realizes they took students and cooks. The hero hears a noise and spots the cracked door someone's hiding inside. The Sky stands by the half-open door and listens to the noise. He thinks that one of the dead has decided to reinforce themselves. He wonders how many are here. Hero raises his weapon as Sky kicks down the door, planning to thin their rank. He aimed his guns and froze. Inside, a girl was devouring buns. The hero grumbles asking what this is while Shaylee shouts "Fikke" through a mouthful of food. He recognizes her as Erida Tangaloid from the guild. Sky asks the girl why she is here. Arita shyly admits her nerves make her hungry, so she eats here often. Smiling, she reveals the Duchess of Mency does it secretly, then mocks the hero's size and disappointment. He asks the girl if she knows the Academy S overrun by ghosts. She eagerly confirms, explaining she started sneaking in when she noticed it. The girl cheers for the knights, but Sky is disappointed. Walking away, the boy warns her not to count on them. She watches in terror as he explains breaking the barrier. Takes time, and the king ordered total annihilation. Horrified and speechless, she listens as Sky reveals their true mission. Hero turns his back, declaring all students abandoned, even the Duchess. The girl stares at him, hopeless. Arena senses trouble, and the hero agrees. He tells her to hide in the closet, but she refuses to stay behind. Sky looks around in shock. The girl beams and joins the hero. Students and teachers fill the hall. Terrified students huddle. Dead boys horrify them. Conento and Brero just watch. Conento senses it, bro. Rose asks. The mage says knights broke the barrier, rushing it. Bro. Rose replies they ignored demands, so hostages mean nothing. Conento's stunned as the heroes turn toward the girl beside them. At FIA, Nashia, the king's sixth child, sits royal blood flows through her Barrows claims. Even royals fend for themselves here, and she stares sadly at the floor. Students crowd the stage floor. Ragnia asks the head for help, but she can't do anything. The head says that the most important thing right now is the life of every person. Conento approaches them, together with the NFE. The head asks him to just be quiet. He replies that he understands. Raros and Conento are arguing when NFIA cuts in the plan is falling apart. Burroughs turns and says that you can say that too. The girl just silently looks at him. Conento warns they're in trouble without the hostages and asks for the next move, but Brero stays silent. He asks the mage why they abandoned the knights and created the slum. Brero reveals he built the Slayer to topple the king and rule for the royals. NFES smirks, and the leader reacts. He says she'd understand people if she weren't a princess. The kingdom expands every year, gaining power. Poverty isn't the only problem. Reality is far more complex. He remembers the kingdom as starving slums, filled with daily horrors a princess couldn't imagine. Barrow and Conento live through that hell, but the girl claims every country suffers the same. She challenges the leader. Can he really change a whole country so easily? He concedes some truth, but not on that scale. Brera has an incredible urge to destroy, to smash everything, but he can tell him. He can act like that. He's a knight. Then he asks to hit without limits. He believes only the country lasts forever. That's why he quit the knights to start the slans, standing by his words to Conento. Braros cackles. He only wants to start a riot. Brillors and Conento laugh as the wizard gloats, while the men corner the princess. The princess glares and calls them insane, but Barara just smirks, taking it as a compliment. Sliny arrived, telling the chief security message a knight broke in. 10 members are gone. Boros is horrified, then he smiles. The leader asks if the barrier broke, but Conento confirms it's holding firm. The leader reveals it wasn't a knight who broke in, but a student, NFIA, and the head freeze as the truth hits them. Boros warns the mage of monster rumors in this school. Conento eyes Rania and the head, suspecting they're from the student organization. Rumors are true, monster breaches defenses, it's chaos, call the mage. Braros laughs loudly and madly. All the students look at him in horror. The man smiles wickedly and says that everything is getting more and more interesting. NFEA and the head smile, confirming it as true. Raro questioned her meaning, but the princess laughed and the council head snorted. The girls remember Sky, and the princess talks about this monster. Anafia and the leaders smirk at the Breros. The princess guarantees the monster is victory, and the leader finds it all fascinating. Jane leads the knights while Sky and Arena head to the hall. Breros warns the mage a girl assassin commands knights outside, and unbelievably powerful students are inside. He warns it's worse than the royal family story. The wizard asks for a decision, but Brao's mind is made up. He doesn't care about the money. Brescia draws his sword, asking if he should stop suppressing his urge to destroy. The mage watches him slyly, tensely. The magic school, still shielded, Sky and Arena race through corridors. Sky knows the enemy will catch on soon. He knows the girl trails him. He wonders if he can cut down kills further. Arena doubts he beat 10 trained fighters, leaving him stunned. She admits he is strong, but demands more magic. Done watching from behind, she charges forward. The arena starts to warm up and asks if it's time to go out. Girl warms up, ready to work. Boy exhales in disbelief, scratching his head. She smiles confidently. The girl spots something around the corner, and the hero looks over curiously. Arena says 2 will emerge in 15 minutes. She smiles, but the guy compares her to a dog. She unleashes her magic. The boy watches in shock as fire erupts. Her hands ignite. She summons a fiery fist. Advanced magic costing 900 mana, hitting for 1,800. Sky watches the girls, noting their 759 second throw and 79 magic conversion. It's nearly Rumi's 80, a solid first strike. Now the heroes wait for the 2 men round the corner, and the girl strikes instantly. She magically defeats them. She stands among the scattered men, unclenching her fists. The arena asks if Sky liked it, and he breathlessly calls it incredible. Sky thought it was an ordinary foe, pondering his bullets, but Arena interrupted his magic bullets, allow constant fire, while she only shoots once every 7-5 seconds. She asks if that's what he thought of her magic. He looks surprised. He apologized. Arena told him not to worry. He was right. Smiling, she raised a finger. If you think so, you still know nothing of the world. Boy excitedly eyes the girl, realizing he's no know-it-all, then asks Arena to show him how it's done. Sky asks Arena to show him the magic world he knows nothing about, and she happily agrees. She smiles, declaring she'll show you magic only true geniuses possess. Heroes stand at the academy as courtyard exit. Arena and Sky reach the inner courtyard door. She claims the building as strong, ready for any fight. Sniffing the air, she looks up and claims they were behind it all. 10 seconds until the gym doors open and the dead walk out. Girl glances at the door. 50 enemies, Sky understands, raises his gun, ready to fight. Arena points a finger, yells, "Wait!" Sky looks at the girl, terrified. Arena asks Sky if she can start, surprising him. The boy panics at the 50 enemies surrounding the hostages, but the girl grabs his hand and stills his fear. She smirks, claiming she'll finish them in 27 seconds. Sky doubts her 27 seconds. The boy doesn't know her plan, but if they capture 50 people, hostages escape easier. He's ready to jump in if Rita fails. 3 seconds left. She counts 2, 1. The dead burst from the doors, surrounding the heroes and warning them off. The guy reluctantly agreed. One guy is shocked by the lone enemy, but his partner warns him to stay sharp. He reminds the boy of Kanento's warning. These first graders aren't normal kids. A girl faces Arena, a sly smile spreading, poised to attack, remarking on smart enemies, but dismissing their efforts as she pulls a rope disc from her belt. She hurls the ring, telling Sky to watch her pure genius and absolute power. She screams Orvin, unleashing a wave that blinds and blasts everyone back. Eyes shut, people ask what is happening. Shocked, Sky hears a terrible rumble, screams. He raises his head, looks at Aaron, horrified. The hero shot up, her disc spinning wildly on the rope. She grins, igniting her hands to strike with fiery fists. The Sky screams as the spell hits. The girl looks away. Heroine says she instantly mastered all 100 types of fire magic. She stands amidst fire monsters and predators, about to attack. The arena screams as fiery beasts charge, then a massive explosion. Creatures and dead erupt from the ground. Sky watches, horrified. The girl smiles, only 27 seconds. Arena lands on the scarred earth and steadies her breath. The girl wipes her sweaty forehead and smiles. Everything went well. Suppression complete. Waving goodbye, the student says it's over. Sky stares in shock as she flashes a confident smile. Sky and Arena face off. He calls it wonderful and she thanks him. Sky weighs the spell's power, knowing he must finish the enemies fast. He realizes this massive fire magic will leave him drained and vulnerable. Glancing back, he sees only corpses in a giant crater. Sky asks how she did it, demanding to know if she called him Orvin. Aaron confirms that's where it started, while the girl adds that geniuses need special magic. Sky eyes the girl, questioning her magic. He knows 700 types, but Orvin is a total mystery. The hero at the arena talks about privileges, asking what's needed. The girl replies it is easy if you are born with it. Arena devoured spellbooks, mastering fire's essence. She wondered what if magic hit 25,000, then knew she could do it. Confused, the hero watches her, waiting for an opening to strike. He claims his conversion hits 200, while she questions the 27-second choice. After using Fire Fist, she's down to 27,000 mana, burning 1,000 units in a single second. Raising her hands, the girl feels the tension as Orvin absorbs the magic. Sky warns no wizard survives those 27 seconds, and she agrees. The boy ignores Orvin for his weak 999 magic units. The girl grins curiously as Sky realizes something and looks around, totally confused. Hero shouts, "Wait," he asks, "no more magic." She blushes, smiles. The girl lies, agreeing to everything. Sky panics, asking if she has anything. The girl leans to him, confused. She screams she's out of strength. Then the wall behind her explodes. Ross appears, claiming he controls everything. Hero stares surprised, the deputy sprawled nearby. Sky asks if he leads, the dead Browers confirms it, and the enraged hero instantly opens fire. Enraged, the hero guns down the leader as smoke chokes the field. The arena gasps as Sky levels his pistols. The heroes spot movement in the smoke. A leg emerges. Braro is alive and unscathed. Sky believes he'll be safe. Barua understands. The baby replacement was a lie. This girl is the real deal, her eyes locked on the arena. Looking at his hand, he realizes someone finally hears him. The man tells Sky the one who broke everything holds a staff. He asks the hero if this blow stopped the Lays family's casino attack. He says nothing. Brero calmly creates a black hole. A massive white bear appears. Kamui, the magical grizzly king. Basie eyes his form as Braro shoulders his sword, declaring the real fight starts now. Sky stares in horror, noting the minions are weaker than the dragons. The bear glares as Sky questions its insane power. The hero calls Piri and hands over his pistols. A tiny clown pops from a black hole, begging Sky not to summon him to scary fights. Sky admits he can handle it alone, but PRO remains terrified as Bro Ross laughs at the chaos. The leader says subordinates grow with their master. His bear once yielded to dragons, but now its roar frightens them. He suggests Sky still has room to grow. Raros lunges with his sword, warning the hero death one to be quick. The hero braces for impact, but someone suddenly casts a spell. Konento traps Breros and Sky, watching them calmly. The deputy bolts into the academy, streaking past Konento and Sky facing off. The hero knows the mage won't let him go easily. Konento says hostages aren't the main target. He mentions someone feeling Breros' terrible power. This person is smart, won't act hastily, and prioritizes evacuation. Plus, he has one more detail. The hero sneers as the mage focuses only on the sky, while Konento wears a smug smirk. Boy notices magician as gaze mirrors. Braris magician smiles, suggests starting. Sky agrees, immediately shoots, but Konento doesn't defend. The boy's bullets strike the mage's shield, leaving the hero horrified. The mage mocks the hero, claiming magic can touch him. He reveals a small spirit carbuncle, his secret helper. Boredom made this barrier, Konento notes. Such powerful defenses are usually impossible so fast. He asks the hero the difference between simple and strong magic barriers. Sky tries to break the main shield. Konento explains the difference: location and time terrain barriers are fixed long-term. Moving them requires careful large area placement, but they can be quickly removed or reinstalled. Barrier magic fails in combat, but you can cast it anywhere quickly. The magician warns the barrier is weak and one to last. Sky stops firing, guns raised, as he and Piero listen closely. Konento's calling it out. Normally, you can only place one obstacle every 5 seconds. He tells Sky his speed is insane. Fearing he's doomed against such magic, he asks if the mage predicted his trick bullet combo. Piero barely smirks. Konento asks Sky how to do the impossible, then answers first. Create skulks like Kamui and Brari, but that's still not enough. The wizard insists preparation is everything, planting magic stones across the school to create a field that supercharges everyone's shields. Magic is surging. To him, battle isn't just power, it's pure skill. Konento says victory takes preparation and strategy. Smirking, he declares the winner is always right, while the hero glares. Sky raises the mana potion, angrily realizing the barrier, unbroken by his 2,000 damage trick shot, is a problem. But a solution remains. He readies his gun.